check.
Check.
Hello.
Check. Oh, wait, I can't hear
I'm not
anything
hearing myself.
now.
He must have us off.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. It's a cool November afternoon, and we got Ripon football for you at the Hopp. It's senior day. I'm Creech Slattery. I'm joined by Martin Ernster. Martin, how are we doing today?
Hey, we're doing good. It's Lawrence coming to town to take on the Redhawks of Ripon. It's always fun and exciting with the oldest rivalry in the state of Wisconsin.
You said it yourself. Series dates back to 1893. Ripon holds a 68-46 lead over the Vikings with 7 ties in there. And they have not lost since 1999 to the Vikings, which was a 25-22 loss from the Redhawks. But other storylines today, Rick Coles, the longtime associate head coach and offensive line coach of the Ripon Redhawks. He's been here 26 years. And today is his final game as a coach for the Ripon Redhawks. And, Martin, you've played against him, and you've called many games that he coached.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity to talk to him earlier.
Yeah, I did. And so I don't know, do we have the audio to go to that right now, Coach Coles? If not, what we'll do is I got to tell you, share the one story with you. We are We're playing against one of I'm nose guard, face mask to face mask. Rick Coles, offensive lineman. He was either playing center or guard that day. He's a couple of years behind me. And the bottom line is he talked to me after the game, and I told him, I said, you know what? I played with an All-American center against All-American centers, and you're the best offensive lineman that ever gave me fits because he got into my legs.
High praise.
Yeah.
High praise coming from him.
Anyway, go ahead. Let's see what Rick had to say.
This is a series that dates back to 1893. And Ripon holds
it's always the last game of the season with their arch rival, the oldest rivalry in the state of Wisconsin, the Vikings of Lawrence University taking on the host Ripon Redhawks. Joining me is, I'll tell you, folks, I've known this guy since we literally played across the line from one another. You got to go back to 1977. Rick Coles, headline coach. He's worn a lot of hats, including former head coach of these very Lawrence Vikings. Coach, this is your last game as a coach. Talk to me. Any emotions hitting you yet, or is it too early for that?
Yeah, it kind of hit me on Tuesday that this was the last week, and it's, I just feel blessed for the experiences I've had and the kids that I've had an opportunity to be a part of their lives, and they be a part of my life.
Yeah, and I was driving back into town yesterday, going past the college, and I thought yesterday, Friday, that's your last practice.
Yeah, yep, it was. It's kind of funny because each day, my last Tuesday practice, my last Wednesday practice, But yeah, it's been a great ride.
And just so people understand, you were a couple of years behind me. Your alma mater being College, the Hawks of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I was a senior. We're playing at the old Ingalls Field,
Yep.
And you guys gave us a good run for our money. I'll be talking about stuff during the game. But how did you feel also when the following fall, you as a player, and I had to go through this, there was no more football to be played?
Yeah, it's, I told the kids yesterday morning, everything comes to an end, right? And so you need to cherish every moment that you have to do the things that you love. And so you walk away from the game after playing, and it's just kind of a sense of depression for a while.
Yeah, and you got 11 seniors today that you're going to be sending off. They're going to be going through that same thing.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, best of luck to you. We do not want to be the team that breaks that winning streak with the visitors from Appleton. That's for sure.
That is a truism, Marty.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, and good luck to you. Congratulations on a great career.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, we're going to be right back with head coach of the Ripon Redhawks in just a moment.
45 yards. Both. And Lippert has also scored 6 times. Defensive back Colby Eldon is 4th.
All right, well, that was a great interview with Rick Coles. And going back to talking about the Redhawks as the senior day introductions are being made here. 19 seniors in total, 11 of them players. a great impact that they've made over the last 4 years here at the college.
Well, and I'll tell you, I remember the last game I played as a senior on senior day. It was against Lawrence, and even though we won that game and went on to play another game in the playoffs, I'll tell you, it's very emotional. Very emotional, and especially when you're a senior, you realize when next fall rolls around, you ain't suiting up again. At least most of them aren't.
And like we said earlier, Ripon has a 22-game win streak against Lawrence, and these seniors, I guarantee the number one priority right now is to make sure that gets to 23 years, because the last thing that they want to have on their minds is the last time that they left Hopp Stadium, it left with a loss.
Yeah, and I talked about that when we get to the pregame interview with Coach Marshall. We talked about that. they made that very clear through the week of practice. Absolutely.
And talking about Coach Marshall, his second season as a head coach of the Ripon Redhawks, he's led them so far this year to a 3-6 overall record, 3-5 in Midwest Conference play. The Vikings of Lawrence University 1-8 overall, 1-7 in Midwest Conference play. But it's blackout day here. Seeing a lot of black shirts out in the audience, and a lot of red from the Redhawks out on their home turf.
And what turf it is, second year of Hopp Stadium. Steve Hopp, the primary donator of this brand-new stadium. He is class of 1983, Steve Hopp. He was a member of the 79-80 Conference Championship basketball team as well, and inducted to the Ripon College Hall of Fame in 2012. He was a member of the 1981 Conference Championship football team. So a lot of thanks goes out to him for this beautiful, amazing location.
What an amazing location. Right next to the campus. Beautiful setup. And a new home for what we hope will be a long, prosperous era of Ripon Redhawk football.
Oh, yeah, and just the idea that they don't have to hop in a bus, get on the other side of town to go play a football game. You walk out your locker room, and here you are.
And we mentioned it earlier that it's senior day, but it'll be a freshman getting his first career start at quarterback, Brady Immel. Son of former Red Hawk and D3 national champion shot putter Mike Immel, who showed off the legs in the last game against Beloit College with a big run that led to a late game score that sealed the game for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, he's definitely an athlete. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to as football playing abilities. So they'll need all of it today. On the PA system, we now have Lynn Krause talking, and he's talking about on this senior day, those seniors are being introduced prior to kickoff. And the first one he talked to was number 2.
Alex Mosqueda, the star wide receiver out of Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah, and he was second team all-conference last year, I believe.
1,661 receiving yards throughout his career, over 30 games, 10th all-time in program history in that number.
Yeah.
97 catches and 14 touchdowns over his career as well.
I've had fun, especially that catch and rather entryway into the end zone against Grinnell, if you recall the flip. Yeah, quite very, very athletic.
The next one, also out of Arizona, hailing from Phoenix, Seth Bruzon, another wide receiver. 19 career games, 25 catches over his career, 2 touchdowns. He's been a solid member of the Red Hawk organization for the last 3 years.
Yeah. And, when you come from these places, the parents don't have the wherewithal or the ability to attend all the games. And so this is also makes it big because mom and dad or guardians or grandpas and grandmas, whoever, they are here at the game. And that's a big moment as well.
And you mentioned how emotional it is for the players during senior day. It's almost just as, if not even more emotional for the parents, because the parents are the ones that sacrifice the most for their kids, especially athletes. They drive them to practices and games. They console them after losses.
Pee-wee football. I mean, my son right now in Illinois takes the 9-year-old to hockey practice, takes the 14-year-old to softball practice. Yeah. And all of a sudden that comes to an end.
It comes to an end, and you start to wonder what to do with yourself as a parent after that, because, I don't have to drive them to Little League games anymore. I don't have to. But it brings back the memories, getting ice cream with your dad after the game something.
With me, it was 10-cent dilly bars at Dairy Queen.
What a treat. Anything tasted good after a win.
Yeah.
And then next, running back from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Jeremy Timmons, a absolute water bug, as you like to say.
Yeah. I really like his game. It is so different than the other gentleman they'll be introducing next at running back, most likely, number 23 when they get to him. I love the way Timmons just explodes off the snap of the ball and just brings a whole new sort of dimension to the offensive running game for the Redhawks.
And you look at it now, the third senior wide receiver they've announced.
Yeah.
Parker Campana out of San Diego, California, 43 career games, second team All-Midwest Conference in 2022.
Yeah.
Just over 1,100 yards, 71 catches, and 5 touchdowns over his career in Ripon College.
Yeah, and I'm looking like this guy's a wide receiver. I'm looking at his build. I'm sitting up here in the booth looking down on the field at him. That guy he's not your dad's wide receiver when I was playing.
No, he's not.
No.
Then the 6'2" defensive back out of Wausau, Wisconsin,
There's
Wes
the one.
Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
24 career games, 57 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. He's an absolute dog on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, and it's the defense this season that's been the catalyst in terms of getting off to quick starts and sometimes preserving the wins for Ripon Redhawks.
And the aforementioned Connor Ramage being introduced next.
Yeah.
Out of Green Bay.
Ashwaubenon, I think, right? A former Jaguar.
9th in program history in career rushing attempts, 477. When in doubt, give the ball to Ramage, and he will get you some yards.
Yeah. And I've enjoyed watching his style of play. To me, he's like A.J. Dillon for Packer fans versus when we had Jones. Jones was like the aforementioned running back, the quick water bug. Timmons, thank you. And then boom, boom. And he's the A.J. Dillon is my analogy.
Ramage also 6 rushing touchdowns against Augsburg as a freshman, tied the school record in single-game rushing touchdowns, and second all-time in Midwest Conference history in single-game rushing touchdowns. So he has put in a historic performance in his career as a Red Hawk as well.
Yeah, very
5'11" defensive back out of Randolph, a town usually known for its basketball tradition. Logan Vandergalen, 19 career games over his time here in Ripon, 37 tackles and a pass breakup. He really knows how to play his position very well.
Yeah, and the name Vandergalen, Randolph. There you go, right there. Yep.
And then 6-foot linebacker out of Janesville, I went too far. 5'10" running back out of Kenosha, Xavier Gitzinger. 15 career games, 156 yards, 1 touchdown on 38 carries. A reliable third option out of the backfield for the Redhawks.
Oh, wait a minute. They are going to go with 33, right? Okay. Yeah. Wow.
And being introduced right now was the one I went too far on, Garrett Sandwick out of Janesville. 2-time academic All-Midwest Conference selection, 41 tackles in his career.
Yeah. And I tell you, the most fun part's walking through that gauntlet of your teammates right now.
Those are the guys that have had your back all over these 4 years.
Yeah, those are your relationships that have been forged for a lifetime now.
Then a 2-time team captain, Clay Richard, out of Argyle, Wisconsin, the linebacker.
And anybody that knows anything about Argyle high school football knows they got a heck of a tradition down there. And he brought that tradition with a capital T to this defensive unit in the years that he's played.
Richard leading the Midwest Conference this season with 93 tackles, which is already the 10th most in Ripon College school history in a single season.
With another game to be played, just adding on to that number.
And then the 6'2" offensive lineman out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, who's played for Rick Cole his whole career, Tony Damp. He's been a consistent starter on the offensive line for the last 4 years. Ripon thanks him for everything he's done for the squad. And the last player senior to be introduced, the 5'10" defensive lineman out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, Todd Nunn.
What a name of a city, huh?
I love it.
I do too.
7 career games for Nunn, 4 tackles with a tackle for loss. And then also the senior student coaches and managers, Gabe Drake, Zach Zeznansky, Sincere Sanders, Jordan Reeb, and Lania Curtis. Thank you to all the seniors who have done a fantastic job over their time at Ripon College helping out with this football program.
When I was a player, high school or college, it didn't matter. I didn't really take the time to thank and appreciate behind the scenes, the managers. Think of all the hours you're putting into practice, guess who else is?
They are.
They are. And they're doing all the things that we take for granted. And it's great that they're being recognized for their time and efforts and dedication to the program. I salute them.
And there's also a shout-out to 2 senior student coaches who could not be here today, Jacob Shimmick and Delaney Brown.
There you go.
So congrats to all these seniors who undoubtedly have fine lives leading ahead of them in the years to come.
Yeah, the Redhawks. And then we'll talk about it later, but we got a game to win today.
We do have a game to win. And, Marty, you have a lot more research done than I do. Why don't you give us a little bit of a background on the history of this matchup? Obviously, it's the oldest collegiate football rivalry in the state of Wisconsin.
Right.
But there's a rich, rich history behind that factoid.
You talked about it earlier that the first game was played 1893. In year 2, the second year, Ripon won that game, by the way, 24-6. In 1894, the second year, they won 80-0, Ripon. And how interesting with Ron Ernst, the all-time winningest coach at Ripon College. I think he was 30-some years here. And the last game he coached was against Lawrence, of course, because it's always the last regular season game, 82-0, which became the new all-time winningest record by either team. Because Lawrence, folks, they had their opportunities to put a can of hurt onto Ripon as well. In the 1950s, they had back-to-back games where they beat Ripon like 56-0, 62-0. So what goes around comes around as well. There's some rich history, though. I want to share this with you. The Doling Hazelton Memorial Trophy is awarded annually to the winner of the Division III college football game between Ripon and Lawrence. The rivalry is the oldest, as we've talked about, in the state of Wisconsin. It is the 14th oldest rivalry in the entire country. And the series going into, at that time, was 68, 46, and 7, with Ripon leading that way. But the other thing I want to talk about as they're finishing up their senior introductions, at times, the rivalry between the schools has been brutal. The Laurentian, which is the University of Lawrence newspaper, college newspaper, worried that in 1896, just 3 years into the rivalry, that it became so intense that football might be banned as a sport. Quote, "Such playing will kill football. If Ripon or football must die, we are sorry, but it ought to be Ripon."
And leading off of that, there's also an interesting factoid that if you've ever heard the Man in the Arena speech by Teddy Roosevelt, you might think that it's simply just a motivational speech.
Yeah.
No, it was given before Congress in an effort to keep college football alive.
Right. But let me finish up on that as you piggyback with him. An article in the Appleton Post-Crescent noted that after the 1901 game had concluded, the Vikings would have scored more to add on to their 23-6 victory in that game. But on 2 occasions, and I quote from the Appleton Post-Crescent of Appleton, Lawrence men who had got clear away for a run down a clear field were tackled by spectators. And I suggest that we research, find out who those spectators were, and get them into the Ripon College Hall of Fame.
And speaking of Hall of Famers, right now, Coach Rick Cole's being honored at midfield.
Yeah.
And I tell you, if there was a coach more deserving of an honor, I don't think I could think of one right now.
No, and I'll tell you something else. The king of one-liners right there.
Yes,
Henny Youngman, move over.
Yes, he is.
This guy.
I've had him in 2 classes over these last 2 semesters, and I tell you, he's been my favorite professor at Ripon College so far.
There you go.
It's not an exaggeration. Coach Coles, thank you for everything that you've done for the students and the school here in Ripon, Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's a former first-team all-conference offensive lineman in 1979, I believe. And so he was a great tactician, a great competitor, a great teacher, as you just indicated. Good motivator. He was the former head coach of Lawrence University as well as the assistant coach at his alma mater, Coe College, for 5 years, was an assistant at Cornell College, their rivalry between Coe and Cornell out of Mount Vernon, Iowa. And so he's traveled about. My 42-year-old son went to his football camps at Lawrence when he was a 9th grader, and he did an outstanding job there. So, yeah, what can you say? Football's his life, along with his wife Nancy and the triplet daughters and his son Michael. Yeah.
I'm sure he wouldn't trade any moment, though, with his family for any moment of his football career, though, because family is number one always.
Oh yeah, and they've always supported him. That's what's key. Every game this season, there they are. They're sitting down outside the press box to our left, and it's just a lot of nice things to say about Coach Coles.
We're going to go silent here for a little minute just so you can hear the PA announcer, Lynn Krause, talk about some of the accomplishments of Coach Coles over his career and just really appreciate the magnitude of this.
Of the Republican Party Birthplace Museum in Ripon, as well as a Mason and a Shriner, and is a member of the Ripon Rotary Club. Rick has made a difference in the lives of countless students and student athletes, both on the field of competition and in the classroom. Thank you, Rick, for all your contributions to Ripon College football, the Ripon College Athletic Department, and the Ripon community as a whole. We would also like to give a special thank you to Rick's wife, Nancy, and their 4 children, Michael, Sarah, Jennifer, and Katie, for the sacrifices you have made during Rick's time coaching and teaching here at Ripon. At this time, President Vicki Foles and Associate Director of Athletics, Steve Whammer, would like to present you, Coach, with a commemorative football and helmet signed by the coaches, captains, athletic administrators, and the president.
All right, so you heard what they had to say about Rick Coles, obviously a very decorated coach, but we still have a game to talk about here. You also had a chance to catch up with head coach Jake Marshall here prior to the final game of his second season at the helm of the Redhawks.
Yep, and what a treat that's been all season talking to him.
We wish you
so as soon as we can go to that,
and your entire family well in retirement.
when this is all done, we'll go to that.
And
But
in addition, Rick invites everybody to Roadhouse at 4. He brought a special credit card.
yeah.
Please give a round of applause for one of the best ambassadors of Ripon College, Rick Coles.
Of course, Lynn Krause, always one for humor, suggested that Roadhouse, following the game, Coach Coles will pick up the tab for everybody.
I'm taking him up on that offer.
On some sort of special secret, top secret credit card. Of course, that's all.
I'm taking him up on that offer. If he's not there, I'm not showing up to class on Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So we're ready to go to that interview that I had with Coach Marshall just a few minutes ago.
Need I say any more?
Nope, you don't have to. Credit to them. I think this is the best team they've had in a long time, and we've had some close ones in the past when we were significantly better. And in these games, anything can happen, man. Like we could be 9-0 coming in and play it to a 1-point game regardless. So that's been our message all week, is making sure they understand it's not a different game, but it's a little bit of a different game today.
And you got 11 seniors that do not want to walk out of Hopp Stadium with anything other than a huge smile on their face.
Absolutely. I mean, nobody wants to be that on the team that loses the trophy, period, much less the senior class. So they're taking this one pretty personal.
Okay, now I just found out you're down to your 11th starting quarterback now. It seems that way. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, we Aiden got hurt last week, and so freshman Brady Immel, who kind of closed out the game last week, is going to get his first start. He's got Red Hawk in his genes, man. He's Mike Immel's son, and anytime you got a guy whose dad won a national championship and played a lot of football games, like he's ready for it.
Yeah, and he gives you his legs. He gives you that bootleg pass or tuck and run option, I would think.
Yeah, as a freshman, you never really know what they know until you get in that game. But Brady's athleticism certainly allows us to keep the playbook really open. We don't have to limit him. He maybe doesn't throw it won't throw it as much as Aiden or Jack would have, but what he gives us with his legs is a great dimension that's going to be hard to defend.
Kind of reminds me of that backup quarterback up north with the Green Bay Packers.
Great comparison.
One other thing, I always played on the clean side of the ball, the defensive side. They've been the catalyst in keeping you guys in games and setting the tone, if you will, for these games. I don't expect anything less from your defensive unit today.
No, I think our expectations very much the same. I mean, similar to Beloit last week, they've got a really good receiver that we got to keep in check. But if we can handle him, I think our D-line's going to keep wreaking havoc in there and give those other guys opportunities to go make plays.
Your bookends on that defensive front have been having a lot of fun, it seems, down the late parts of the season here, doing a good job.
Yeah.
They're meeting in the backfield.
Yep, Deshaun and Gavin have played really well. Drew Love in that mix as well. And Garrett Sandwick's been in spots, and all those guys are playing really well. Obviously, last week, Gavin and Deshaun have the stats, right? Gavin's D3 team of the week and all that stuff. But collectively as a group, those guys have really been turning it on lately.
And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
As a team. Best of luck to you. Looking
Thanks,
forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, we'll be back for those opening kickoff and introductions in just a bit.
Welcome back to Hopp Stadium, as they say sometimes at the Hopp. Both teams have taken the field getting ready for the playing of the national anthem. The Lawrence players, I see, the logo on the helmet has always been the horn, Vikings, much like the Minnesota Vikings, for those that have never seen a Lawrence game, football game. And that's changed. I can't quite see what it is. I don't know if it just says LU.
It does say LU,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they realize that, just like the Vikings, there's no trophies to show for that logo.
Maybe that's it. Maybe. But having said that, all I know is we're getting ready for the national anthem playing right now. And I am just ready for another rivalry game here to get underway in just a few minutes.
Ripon Lawrence coming up soon.
Now sing along as the rally band plays our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Rousing rendition of the Star Spangled Banner there by the rally band. And Marty, I don't know if it's just me, but it always seems like for the last few notes of the national anthem, the flag always seems to realize that it is a paid actor, and it rises to the occasion and unfurls fully for those last few notes, and it really just gets me going before any sporting event.
Very poetic, Crete. Yeah, old glory blowing in the breeze, and it's a cool day here. No sun. Had a little bit of sun yesterday afternoon. That was nice. But we got 4 captains, it looks like.
All seniors.
Heading out for Ripon to introduce themselves to the 3 captains for Lawrence and for the coin flip.
And a little injury report here.
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, freshman Brady Immel making his first career start at quarterback for the Redhawks. They are now down to their 3rd-string quarterback after Aiden Keys broke his wrist in the last game against Beloit College. So they've suffered injuries to Jack Behrens, their 1st stringer. Now Aiden Keys, their 2nd stringer. Now they lean on a 3rd stringer to try and keep this 22-year winning streak against Lawrence University alive in Brady Immel.
That's right. You got to go back to 2000 when Ripon started this win streak. And, yeah, he's a freshman. But I'll remind you of something. My freshman year, it was the 2nd or 3rd game of the season, and a coaching change was made by the head coach. to start Jeff Johnson, Milwaukee Madison, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin native, and we never looked back after that. So, we won't get too hung up on what year he is, but we've seen him play enough now.
Yes, we have.
Coming in that we know his legs are definitely going to be another threat to the opposing defense of keeping him contained in the pocket. Personally, if I had the option to take him and call the shots, what am I going to do with Mr. Immel? Well, obviously you think a quarterback draws, but bootleg action. Let him sprint out and take pressure off your offensive line. Let him sprint out. Look for short, high percentage completion patterns with your great threesome of wide receivers on this unit for the Redhawks, or tuck and run, because he's demonstrated what he can do with the pigskin when he puts it under his armpit and takes off.
One of those threesomes of wide receivers, Parker Campana, getting this sellout crowd hyped before the game here at the Hopp.
Yeah,
we are just moments away from the opening kickoff. Ripon won the toss and elected to receive. Alex Mosqueda back to receive the opening kickoff. And Treston Decker along with him, number 21. And number 10, Ben Blumenthal, to kick it away for the Lawrence University Vikings.
Ripon's going to have a decent wind. If you look at the flag, they're going to have a decent wind to their backs opening up.
A 131-year-old tradition marks its newest chapter here. Ripon versus Lawrence at the Hopp.
Look at that lineup for the kickoff team.
That's a unique setup.
Yeah, let's see how they do this.
And the kick is off, and we are underway here in Rip City. Mosqueda fields it on a bounce, brings it out to the 35. He's got the sideline. He's going to break away for it. They're going to mark him out at the 45-yard line, but a great return off the bounce from Alex Mosqueda, and the Redhawks are going to start in prime field position for their first drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it was a short kick. He had to wait to field it, and that little seam along the sideline opened up, and his instincts took over. Great
he very
field
nearly
position.
stutter-stepped and gained about 5 more yards, but the ref saw it and marked him down at the 45. So Brady Immel taking his first snap as a starting quarterback in his collegiate career here against the Lawrence University Vikings. He's got Connor Ramage in the backfield, and he's got Mosqueda and Campana out to his left. A bad snap picked up by Immel, and Ramage is going to dive forward, and I think he picked up about a yard. There was a terrible snap off the drop.
Yep.
But Immel, quick thinking, got the ball into Ramage's hands, and Ramage got a yard on the play.
What else do we expect on a rivalry game on the first play from the line of scrimmage?
There's obviously nerves, senior day.
And
then this offensive line is also playing for their coach one last time. So there's obviously intent to please right there.
This is a very hungry Lawrence team. Blitz, safety.
Ramage is going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 6.
So back-to-back plays, Ripon offense, not the start you wanted to see. It's going to bring up a third and very long. Yeah, they're blitzing right away. That was a corner blitz off the right side, and they're going to attack, it would appear, early and often, trying to get after this offense and trying to rattle the cage of the freshman quarterback.
Trips out to the right of Immel, along with Carl Travis and Alex Mosqueda to his left.
This is one of the best Lawrence teams, as Coach Marshall, Jake Marshall, said earlier, that Lawrence has had in recent years.
Even though they are 1-8 overall, they're still a hungry team, as Immel's going to show off the legs, makes a move. He's got open room to run. Makes another move. He's down the right sideline. 25, 20. Pushed out to the 15, the freshman Brady Immel with a big run to start it off for the Redhawks.
Oh, my. You got 3rd and 14.
Wow.
Now, we've talked about his ability with his legs to be another threat to the opposing defense, but holy smokes.
Electric play call there from Jake Marshall on 3rd and long. And Brady Immel brought it from their own 41 down to the Lawrence 14. 1st and 10 Redhawks.
You live by blitz, you can die by blitz. We just saw the second part of that.
Immel into the shotgun. He's going to hand it to Ramage. Ramage still on his feet. He's going to get tackled forward for a gain of about 5.
It looked like after about 3.5 yards, it was a weird contact. Looked like he was down. And like you said, he
fell on top of the guy who tackled him, so he never touched the ground.
Evidently, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking because it was kind of awkward looking. You're thinking, well, he's down. No.
2nd and 5 now on the Lawrence 9.
First possession by either team to start this game, and Ripon's well on their way to come away with points.
10 seconds left on the play clock. Another blitz coming here. Immel's going to hand it off to Ramage. Breaks a tackle. He's getting pushed forward down to about the 3.
Is it
Connor Ramage with another big bruising run to gain 6 and another first down.
First and goal inside the 5. That when you're the defense, you don't like that. What's interesting, I'm noticing, and I relate to this quite well. I'm watching a lot of 2-point stance on the defensive line, and that's something that is not very common. And they have a couple players they're doing that with. We'll continue to watch that. But when you're at a 2-point stance, you're letting everybody know you're pretty much coming.
Immel back to the shotgun. Ramage next to him.
Yeah, they don't get down in a 3-point stance.
Campana in motion.
Okay.
It's going to be a flag. It's going to be a false start on the Redhawks. 5-yard penalty. It's going to move it back to the 8-yard line.
That's
still first and goal, though.
That's a big mistake. If you have a veteran throwing quarterback, you think, okay, we'll be fine. Well, now you got this freshman quarterback we've talked about that is great with the legs, is going to be a learning curve on the passing part of the game. So when you get that 5-yard mistake in terms of that illegal procedure, that puts more pressure on your offense. They got that H-back, Ripon does, working for him.
Ripon in the red zone here on their first drive of the game.
Bryce Brono.
4 minutes gone already here in the first quarter. Little handoff to Mosqueda. Cuts back through the middle. And he goes into the end zone for a Red Hawk touchdown.
What patience.
Wow.
That was almost like a jet sweep, and he cut it up inside when he saw the opportunity.
How appropriate. Senior day. Senior Alex Mosqueda scores the first touchdown, and Ripon takes a lead. Brady Immel's first drive as a starter ends with 6.
Nice. This is the start you wanted. It wasn't looking good after the first 2 plays to start this game on offense.
Shane French to kick the extra point here. Right through the middle. And speaking of right through the middle, I don't know if anyone who's watching this broadcast is a big College Game Day fan.
Yeah.
But on College Game Day, one of the hosts, Pat McAfee, who is a former All-Pro kicker in the NFL, holds a contest, a 33-yard field goal called the Kicking is Easy Challenge, which is meant to mock those who say that kicking is the easiest position in all of football.
They do it all the time.
They do it all the time, and it was in Georgia today.
Okay. And?
They brought out a kid. Originally, a girl was selected to do the kick.
Yeah.
She chose to give it to another person in her stead. McAfee raised the total that the kick would be worth to $800,000, $800,000. And this kid, confident as could be, tells him he's a soccer player and just stripes one right down the middle. McAfee couldn't believe his eyes. Whole place goes nuts. I was going nuts in my dorm room watching it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the kid and his parents are going real nuts right now.
He won himself $200,000. He won the girl who was originally picked $200,000 and $400,000 going to hurricane relief. So a great cause all around there on College Game Day. Hats off to Pat McAfee. He's been the best addition to College Game Day since Lee Corso's headgear.
Yeah. Well stated. So we're going to see Lawrence following this kickoff return get their first opportunity, but take care of business first with kickoff coverage.
An electric sellout crowd here at the Hopp, and they were granted an opportunity to cheer early in the first quarter. French kicks it up and away.
That wind aided.
That's going to get into the end zone, and Lawrence is going to start on their own 25.
Yeah, we're going to see a quarterback that's had a pretty good season when you look at pure yardage today for Lawrence. We're going to see that young man. Is it Aiden Williams?
Yes.
Yeah. And now he has had problem on the interception side of things. He's put up double digits in that statistic for INTs. But nonetheless, and he's got a pretty good wide receiver, too, that he likes to go to.
He's what you'd like to call a gunslinger. One of the wide receivers, though, for Lawrence will be out. Number 7, Jackson Barber, with injury. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Williams is going to hand it off here for the first play.
It's a couple.
It's going to go to number 12, Hunter Carlson,
and
for a short gain.
A late flag was thrown in once forward momentum was stopped. They blew the whistle. Then a flag came in right at the point of the ball carrier. We'll have to wait for the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 0.
I was wondering.
Face mask on number 0, Gavin Eng.
Yeah, defensive end got him. I'll assume it was, in that situation, it was one of those incidentals.
And that's going to give the Vikings a free first down and great field position at the 43-yard line.
Yeah. You don't, when you're playing a team that you pretty much have controlled over the last few decades, you do not want to do anything to inspire them and to make them believers any more than what they already are.
Williams in the backfield. He's going to look to pass.
Bubble screen.
Check down. And Claire Richard's going to bring him out after a short gain out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a set bubble screen with a stock blocker out in front, but it was well defended, like you just said.
Right into the chain gang, again being run by 4 baseball players, my teammates Matthew Stushinsky, Kyler Hickman, Bailey Shep, and Alex Ramus.
And they're good, boys. And they're good at this. Huh?
They are good at this
mistakes.
Job.
Okay.
They better be good at this job.
Yeah, you just gave them.
I just gave you guys free publicity.
That's right. Here we go. 2nd and long.
Williams again in the backfield. 2nd and 9 on the Lawrence 44. He's back to pass. He's going to run it instead. He's going to slide, brought down just before the 50 by Zane Vetter, number 11 for the Redhawks.
Yeah, Vetter, the Mayville Cardinal graduate.
It'll be 3rd and 3, it looks like.
Vetter will be the mother hen of the linebacking crew next year as a junior.
Yep. And he's earned it. He's played very well over his first 2 years.
I really liked his play last year as a true freshman.
Yeah. Also, I've been in a few classes with him. Good kid overall, too.
Okay.
It'll be 3rd and 7.
His football team, his alma mater, made it to the level 3 of the state playoffs as we get offsides on Ripon, but nobody moved for Lawrence.
No flag.
Yeah, you got back, no contact.
That's going to be picked off. That's number 8, Nolan Perry.
No.
He's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Redhawks.
Well,
Nolan Perry read it perfectly, picked it up, and took it to the house.
And the side judge just threw the flag, of course, for unsportsmanlike. My own personal feeling on that, as long as it's not, I don't think it's excessive. If his teammates want to join him in the end zone for a little bit and then come back to the sideline, that's a penalty, evidently. I don't have a problem with that. If you're doing anything to show up the opposition, hey, I'm all in on unsportsmanlike. This is not about, when you do something well and accomplish something on the gridiron, it's not about rubbing the opponent's face into it, right? And in that case, it wasn't. But the flag was thrown. You got to believe that's what it is, and we'll just have to wait for the call. Coach is talking to the officials. Coach Marshall.
And the refs missed an offside call. Deshaun Smith jumped offsides.
Yeah, but he got back. You're right. If he would have made contact with the lineman, then that's definitely, right? That's encroachment. And like the NFL, the rule is different in college, but if the offensive lineman moves as a result of Smith jumping, then do they call it on Smith, or in fact, is it the offensive lineman because he moved? Yeah.
Shane French on to kick his second extra point in about 3 minutes.
Yeah. And
jump around's already played twice here in the first quarter within the first 6 minutes.
Hey, what a great read by Nolan Perry. You're a safety for a reason.
Oh, it's going to be a fake extra point attempt, 2-point attempt, I should say. It didn't work.
And Lawrence wasn't buying what Ripon was selling. But Perry, what a great job. What a great read. What a great break on the ball. And just like that, Ripon is getting out to the start that Coach Marshall and his coaching staff wanted to see. That I'll guarantee you, you come into these games and the last thing you want is to get off to a slow start, which Ripon has done this year in quite a few of their games. You know, you look at two of their losses. Their opening contest, non-conference with North Park, Illinois. They lost by a point. They went for two, didn't succeed. And then the game at Cornell in Mount Vernon, Iowa, they got up to a slow start, had to make up ground. They were closing. They outscored them considerably in the second half, came up just short, ran out of time. So the last thing you want to see in a game like this with Lawrence is them to get off to a quick start and Ripon chasing them on the scoreboard.
But Shane French's right leg has gotten a workout so far. A kickoff, 2 extra point attempts.
And so they access the penalty.
So French will be kicking off from the 20-yard line.
Yeah. I wonder if he does a straightaway kickoff or not. Listen, Lawrence's program has not always been down like this for the last 20-plus years. There were glory days of which when I was playing, they were. We split with them. My team lost to them, Ripon, my freshman, sophomore year. We beat them my junior, senior year when they had great ball clubs.
Kick is up and away. It's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. Bringing it back out to about the 30 is where he's going to be brought down.
That's a great job to minimize them to the 30, approximately the 30-yard line with that 15-yard penalty. Good job by Ripon, kickoff coverage unit.
It was a 15-yard return to the Lawrence 30.
So Lawrence will start from their own 30-yard line. 13-0 Ripon Redhawks. 8:55 left in the first quarter.
So
an
Lawrence,
early start for the Redhawk offense and the defense.
Lawrence came out early in that first offensive series with a balanced attack, both on the ground and through the air. And let's see if they stay with that.
Williams with a handoff to Carlson.
Good job. They hit the hole hard. That's their best offensive play so far.
Gain of 4 or 5.
Yeah. And anytime you can do that, to bring up 2nd and 5, you won. Lawrence just won first down, 1st and 10. They just won that play. So they can do what they want here. My guess, they're going to keep this on the ground.
Tackle was made by number 30, Deshaun Smith, who I gave my MVP to last week against Beloit College. 2 sacks and a strip.
Mm-hmm.
Williams with another handoff to Carlson. This time it's the senior, Claire Richard, bringing him down for a loss.
Yeah, well, they're going to give him forward progress of just a little less than 1 yard. So they'll call it a gain of about 2 feet, roughly.
Out to the 36.
But so far, play of the game goes to number 8, Nolan Perry, with about a 40-yard pick six.
That'll be tough. That'll be tough to top.
And for Brady Immel, couldn't ask for a better first 8 minutes almost of your first collegiate start as a quarterback. You're getting the start in the oldest collegiate rivalry in the state of Wisconsin.
There's his tight end.
And Richard lays the boom at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he did give him a pop.
He'll move the chains, though.
Yeah.
The Vikings are going to pick up the first down. But Clay Richard.
Kyle Zumdome caught that ball. He's a big kid. He can take it. But they got their first down, more importantly, if you're a Viking fan.
Williams in the backfield. 2 men out to his right, 1 to his left. Handoff going to be taken around the left side. Swallowed up at about the 43.
Yeah, nice gain again. On a 4-yard gain, you're winning first down again. They're getting what they want out of that 1st and 10 situations. Lawrence has settled down after that disastrous.
That was Cabron Miles on the carry, number 32.
Talked about Rick Coles and what he brought to the table. It's called the flex bone. It's a form of a triple option offense that he became quite good at, actually put on clinics.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Another handoff to Carlson. He's going to cut back, make a move, be stopped just past the 45-yard line. It's going to be fourth and about 4, or third and 4, I should say.
Yeah, Clay Richard lassoed him at the ankles, so it's going to be a long 3, a short 4, your pick.
They're going to mark it 3rd and 3 for the Lawrence Vikings on their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is definitely going to be a pass from Aiden Williams.
Williams' first real pass attempt that wasn't a screen pass, did not go as planned last drive.
No, on that deep out.
He's going to look to go on that again. It's going to be knocked down.
Nice play by 24. Was all over him like a cheap suit. My goodness. What a nice defensive play.
Logan Vandergalen, the senior, getting the start today.
Yeah.
Knocked that one down. Vandergalen out of Randolph, a town that, Marty, you always bring up, known for its tradition on the hardwood, not necessarily the gridiron.
Yeah, and anybody that knows Randolph football or round ball knows Hugh Roberts is the guy that really did the job of developing youth in round ball, both boys and girls teams, and the high school getting a lot of gold balls in the trophy case as a result of that.
Blumenthal gets a punt away. It's going to take a Lawrence bounce and go out at about the 17 or 18-yard line.
Excellent corner coffin kick to keep it inside the 20, like you said. Good job by the LU punter.
The Vikings punt out of bounds at the Ripon 18-yard line.
So, Marty, you have a lot of stats here about Ron Roberts and Lawrence University history, at least on the gridiron.
Throughout the game, we're going to talk about the greatest coach in the history of Lawrence University. I happened to go against him 4 years, and I was raised to dislike Lawrence very much. But decades later, after reflecting back, Ron Roberts was a heck of a guy. He passed away in December of 2012 at the age of 81.
Immel in the backfield, Ramage next to him. Ramage is going to get the ball, makes a cut. Runs straight through a guy for a gain of about 4.
I don't know if I've seen a running back that gets as low as he does.
The center of gravity makes him hard to take down.
Ron Roberts grew up in Chicago, raised by his paternal grandparents. He found out at a young age he was good in sports. So what did he do? He got a scholarship to University of Wisconsin. And he played in the Rose Bowl in 1953.
There was a jump on the defensive end, but Immel's going to go down the field. He's looking for Mosqueda. Oh, Mosqueda had it in his hands.
Yeah, and the defensive back, great coverage, was able to swat that away before they hit the turf. That's number
Jalon Paul,
21.
number 21.
Yeah.
And now he's hurt down on the turf.
Because I think the receiver for Ripon, Mosqueda, came down on top of him. He was exposed when he was playing that ball at the apex, as they say, when they're going up to try to catch that.
Mosqueda nearly had it.
Yeah. So, they're going to tend to him. So he was on that famous Badger football team that almost came from behind to beat USC Trojans up till in the 1990s. That was the greatest game ever played by a Badger football team. Was a loss, actually, in the Rose Bowl. Well, not only that, but he was also a wrestler, and a wrestler indeed, because he was an alternate for the Pan American Games as a wrestler in 1956 in Mexico City. He went on to coach high school in Leiden High School in his alma mater. Leiden High School I bring up because my son, a Ripon College graduate, baseball player, ended up as an assistant varsity baseball coach at that very same high school. Well, in 1963, Lawrence University hired, as good to see the young man get up and jog off the field, hired him to Bernie Hazelton. It was an assistant in 1963. 2 years later, he took over, he being Ron Roberts, as the head football coach, and Lawrence University never looked back. For the next 19 seasons, his record was 121 wins, 54 losses, 1 tie, for just under a 700 winning percentage. The most wins in Lawrence University. He won 6 Midwest Conference championships. His 1967 team was undefeated at 8-0. And we'll see what happens on this play on 3rd and long.
Ripon pinned down on its own 23-yard line, 3rd and 7. Looking to have the same sort of setup last time.
Showing
the Vikings
blitz.
Showing blitz. Immel back to pass. He's getting pressured. Escapes the pocket. He's going to get brought down for a gain of about 1.
Yeah. So punt team, here you go. You got the wind to your back. You got 4.5 minutes left before they switch end zones. And so the easy play is that, of course, especially when you're up by 13-0 early in the game. He had a 10-year period from 1974 to 1983, Ron Roberts, as a head coach. He won 4 conference championships, 75, 79, 80, and 81. He never, in that 10-year period, in any of those 10 seasons, lost more than 2 games in any of those seasons. And in 1981 was another 9-0 undefeated season. As we get the punt coverage.
Great
coverage.
Open field tackle by number 10, Devin Sorens, at around the 33-yard line. 37, I should say.
You know, I have not been taken into question or been disappointed with any special teams play watching the home games we've done. I believe this is our 4th or 5th. And I have not been disappointed with any punt coverage, kickoff coverage, outstanding, particularly in that Knox game where they had 2 very quick and fast return men that were leading the conference at that time, averaging over 20 yards a kickoff return. Ripon held them.
Quick check down is going to be incomplete. Gage Taylor was there on the pressure for the receiver.
It's a good job by Lawrence in trying to get that ball out of the quarterback's hands. I would think the same thing for Ripon, for the same reason, inexperienced freshman. But they're trying to get that ball out of the hand in a hurry, nullify any of those defensive ends for Ripon that had a heck of a game last week.
2 men out to the right for the Vikings. Snap, it's going to be given to Carlson, who's going to get a few yards on the play. Clay Richard, the senior, with another tackle. Gain of 2 to the...
Yeah, the 1981 Lawrence team not only went undefeated in one conference, they got their first at-large bid into the NCAA tournament and beat Minnesota Morris in overtime for the first Midwest Conference. We finally got into Midwest Conference, or I should say NCAA tournament. First time that ever been done by anybody from the Midwest Conference, any team at any time. And
Williams back to pass, goes deep. It's going to be overthrown and incomplete. He was looking for Hunter Carlson down the sideline.
I watched that game on TV on ABC Sports. And the late, amazing, great Hall of Fame pitcher for the L.A. Dodgers, Don Drysdale, called that game for Lawrence University, beating Minnesota Morris. They went on to play the Dayton Flyers and were beaten in the semifinals.
Dayton was Division III at one point?
The Dayton Flyers, yeah, that Dayton it's a different Dayton team.
Oh. Punt is going to hit Lawrence player right in the back at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
So a fortuitous turn of events is that looked like it might have taken a friendly Lawrence bounce had it hit the ground. But instead, Ripon's going to start on their own 27 here. Brady Immel already with his third drive, I should say. Excuse me. I'm forgetting that one of the touchdowns was a defensive touchdown. His 3rd drive of the first quarter. We're still not even out of the first quarter of play.
No, we're getting a lot of clock stoppage here, incomplete passes, and special teams coming out, taking the field. So you're right, it's been time-wise a slow first quarter.
Immel with the snap, handoff to Ramage, breaks a tackle, and is brought down after a gain of about 2.
So important to get off to this quick start for the Redhawks. Lawrence comes in, with a win. I saw where they almost had another win in this season. And you don't have to even ask a Ripon coach, were they going to be a little nervous coming into this kind of a game? If Ripon falters early, Lawrence gets on top early, making believers out of themselves. But there's a lot of football to be played yet.
Immel with the handoff to Ramage again, who stiff arms, stays up, and gains a lot after contact.
I've said this already how many times. I cannot get over how low his pad level is. The crown of his helmet, the pad, his balance. He uses the non-holding hand of the football to push off the turf to get more yards.
He gained about 4 yards after contact. I don't think his shoulder pads were more than a yard off the ground, though.
No, I totally agree.
Another almost jump
movement.
off sides.
Yep.
Very skittish defensive line here for the Vikings.
Well, they're anxious. They realize they gotta have that. Who's ever got the twitch, who's ever really quick off the snap.
5 seconds left on the play clock as Immel needs to get a snap off, and he does. Immel's going to take it himself up the right side. Immel's breaking away. First down, Redhawks to the 49-yard line. Brady Immel doing it with his legs again.
Yeah, I'm behind that right side of the offensive line, too. Great job. And that's where he had his long run on 3rd and 14 to set up the first score of the game, was off that right side. Here's a spread formation. Twins.
Mosqueda and Travis out to the right. Campana and Bruzon to his left. He's going to hand it to Ramage, though, and he's not going to get anything.
No gain, we'll call it. Yeah, a lot of times you'll see that, right? Offenses will spread out, and then trying to get that even matchup, and spring a long run. That time the defense for Lawrence was up to the challenge.
2nd down, 10.
Same spread formation.
Yeah. You're taught to go on movement. That nose tackle, 56 for Lawrence. They turned to see what the play call was going to be in the line. Yeah, because we moved.
Showing blitz.
Yeah.
Quick pass overthrew Bruzon. He had him, though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he catches that. It's one-on-one in space. He had the stock block by Mosqueda all taken care of. It would have been one-on-one with him. In
3rd and 10, though.
In the other corner, number 23 for Lawrence.
3rd and 10, the last time the Redhawks faced 3rd and long. Brady Immel took it about 40 yards down the field and set up a score on the first drive of the game.
Let's see what he's going to do here.
They're going to pass. He's got Bruzon. And Bruzon gets about 2.
Yeah, it's all the timing pattern on that. And it looked like initially when he caught it, this is going to go. But boom. Defense closed the door for the Vikings, bringing up a punting situation with, actually, we're going into the second quarter. This is what happens now typically. The offensive unit goes over. The lineman will sit down just below us. Your offensive line coach, any of the position assistant coaches, whether it be running backs coach, quarterback coach, wide receivers coach, this is when they get their chance to sit down and talk to their players, find out what's going on out there. And, of course, you have assistant coaches up in the booth here where we are, just adjacent to us, and they're talking down on the sidelines. So there's a lot going on. There's lots of eyes on players. We're seeing the big picture, but the individual battles that take place throughout the game of football are always interesting. Who's getting the better of who?
Yeah.
They're showing a lot of two-point stance blitz. Lawrence is on defense.
Well, Carl Travis back to punt for the Redhawks.
Now Ripon has to work for a living going into the wind next time they're on offense, but we got a punter going into the wind right now. Great kick.
Spiraling punt.
Yeah.
That's going to take a good Ripon bounce. Inside the 10-yard line, picked up at the 6. So Carl Travis does his job splendidly.
There's a type of I was a punter. There's a type of punt you want into the wind, and it's a spiral because it will slice through that breeze.
Yep.
You just saw it. Excellent job by the Redhawks.
Well-deserved handshakes and high fives for Travis on the sideline as he pins the Vikings inside their own 10 to start their drive.
Outstanding.
Ball's going to be spotted on the 7 for them.
Now, it behooves the defense for the Redhawks to keep them pinned up 3 and out. This is what you're thinking right now if you're the defensive coordinator.
And off to Carlson. He's going to get limited yards off that play.
Mm-hmm. Defense does their job. You want to. This now really calls for 2nd and long. You don't want a 3rd and long situation. So my thought process is look for the pass right here on 2nd and 8.
Sweep to Carlson, and he's going nowhere. Swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage by Gavin Eng.
Did you notice how on the exchange they kind of bumped into each other, and that's what killed it right there. Any chance of success was ruined with the exchange, and they stutter step, kind of bumped, slowed down the momentum of the running back, and then like any good defense, they hit and get and got to the ball. Now it's pulling back your ears and coming. You know, if I'm Smith and Eng, I am really I'm on those bookends for that defensive unit.
Williams back to pass. Goes over the middle. That was a hospital ball in its finest form. And it's incomplete. 4th and 9 on the Lawrence University Vikings' own 8-yard line. So they're going to have to punt it out of their own end zone.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice defensive play, breakup, if you will, by was that Wes Schneider, number 12.
Oh, another senior.
Yeah.
Mosqueda back to receive inside the 50.
Now he'll have the wind. It'll be wind aided. That's the one thing, punting out of your own end zone. That's the one thing you have going for you if you're Lawrence University.
Good snap. Punt is away. Mosqueda waves a fair catch at about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, outstanding to have the ball in Lawrence
inside
territory.
Enemy territory.
Yeah, well put. Exactly. I got to share one game. We'll talk about this rivalry. It was our junior year. We're playing in the Banta Bowl. It's anybody's game to be won. And Jeff Johnson, the quarterback for Ripon, he's still in the record books for Ripon College, back to 1976, has a run for a touchdown that would have been scripted in Hollywood. And by that, I'll share with you after this play.
Man in motion.
Here we go.
Handoff. Scooting around to the right side. Treston Decker picks up 7.
Good win there. The game was still in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be anybody's game to win. Jeff Johnson bootleg out to the right. He's like 5'10", 170 pounds, Johnson, and he tucks and runs. Well, he serpentines down about 65 yards down that field. I didn't see it. I was gassed. I'm sitting on the sidelines with my buddies, and he picks up 3 crackback blocks. You can see this play on Google, and it's still an amazing run. It solidified the win.
Speaking of quarterback runs, Imble's going to take it himself and pick up the first down.
I'm going to call him after watching that. Swivel hips. Look at that. I mean, that was like boom, 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 left, right. Just going through the minefield. Well done. And got that first down. Look at the pivotal runs he's had early in this game, right? The 3rd and 14, that long run that sets up the first touchdown for the Redhawks. And then just now keeping the drive going.
We're going to see Jeremy Timmons in the backfield for the first time today.
I like to see him get the ball because we see Becker with what he does. We see Ramage. And now we see the guy, the quickest of the backs right here.
They're going to give it to him. Timmons. He's going to maybe pick up 1 or 2.
Good defensive effort there on the right side of the defensive line with a little help in the secondary. Nullified that play to just a 1-yard gain. Defense wins that one.
I don't know if we've ever gone over this, but Treston Decker, cousin of former Wisconsin Badger basketball player Sam Decker.
No, I was not aware of that. That's cool. That'd be cool to be talking to people and say, oh, by the way, you watch NBA? Yeah,
I'm related.
Yeah.
Or Sam Decker, more well known for what he did at the University of Wisconsin, playing on that great national championship game team.
Yeah. Nice
As
job
Brady
by the
Immel's
defense.
going to get hammered and brought down.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a flag on the play on the Lawrence University Vikings.
Yeah, you got to listen to the whistle. That's 30.
Forward progress was called, and they just kept pushing him back, and they slammed him to the turf.
Right, and then after Carter Rivers does the celebratory, the nose tackle, does the celebratory, we just nailed him. It's the right call. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to see that. I want this game to be a good, exciting game, just from a football fan. And
that's going to give the Redhawks a first down.
Oh, what a big mistake.
And it's going to put it on the Lawrence 19-yard line.
So instead of bringing up a very long situation after that sack or that tackle for a loss, look what that
Carter Rivers just
exuberance.
dug his own grave with that celebration after not hearing the whistle. They say play through the whistle.
Yeah.
In football, you can get punished for that.
Well, there was 3 of them that were playing through the whistle, way past the whistle. That was the problem. You got to let go on the whistle.
Hand off to Timmons. Up the middle. He's got a lane. Makes a move. Oh, he's brought down at the 5. But Jeremy Timmons, first and goal, Redhawks.
What explosiveness by the Milwaukee kid.
He had one guy to beat, and they just reached out and got his ankle, and that was all they needed to get. Other than that, Timmons had a clear route to red.
Yep, there's something about Lawrence. Basketball, too.
Yep.
They've had some great teams in the years.
Hand off to Timmons again. He might gain 1.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yep, they give him 1 on the play. Second and goal now.
Ramage goes in.
Timmons coming out for Ramage now. Shane French down there on the sideline getting ready to potentially kick his second extra point of the game. If you remember the last touchdown, they went for a 2-point conversion and got stopped.
To say the least.
Yeah. Might have gotten pushed back almost to 30 on that play. Immel with the handoff to Ramage. Ramage going ahead. He's still on his feet. Down to about the 2-yard line. Connor Ramage, yards after contact. I'm telling you, this guy is unrivaled. He's going to be sorely missed in the next few years with his presence in the backfield for the Redhawks.
It's 3rd and goal.
Ball spotted, about the 3?
Yep. 3rd and goal now for the Ripon Redhawks.
Full back house.
It's going to be a timeout taken by the Vikings.
Yeah. So it's the 77th meeting in 1977 in Ripon. I'm a senior. We have a very good team. We have 1 loss on the year. We're undefeated in division play. Lawrence is undefeated. They're 8-0. Haven't lost a game. They're perfect in division, perfect overall. They come in. They're averaging 44 points a game. They have an All-American quarterback. They have an All-American center that I'm across the line of scrimmage from. And the bottom line is we took them to the woodshed. Not only did we beat a great Ron Roberts team, we shut them out 27-0. Sacked that quarterback. They hadn't been sacked once, 7 times. And
did you have any of the sacks?
I had 4 of them.
Attaboy.
And we had fun. And then we went on to play undefeated Cornell College team from Mount Vernon that was ranked in the top 20 nationally. They're hoping for a win over Ripon and get an at-large bid. And the bottom line is 7-7 at the half. Our tight end from Hurley, Wisconsin, kicks a 33-yard field goal. In the
Immel with the handoff to Ramage around the left side. Red Hawk touchdown. Connor Ramage again. Connor Ramage, the senior on senior day. Who could have wrote this script any better?
I'll tell you, if you don't think Lawrence is looking back at that lack of discipline on that tackle for a loss and stopping at the whistle, and referees will give you, once they blow the whistle, a stride or two to.
But you usually don't want to throw him to the turf after that.
Well, but you just kept going through it, and it was multiple players, and you gave no alternative to the coach to throw that flag. That was the head referee.
And Shane French stripes one through, 20-0.
And a good team.
8:39 left in the first half.
Yeah.
Ripon on top.
Yeah, excellent. That Ripon team, by the way, of 77 went on to win that game 10-7. And that was another great coach, a legendary coach, Jerry Clark for Cornell, another one of those guys with a half dozen conference championships. And that was weird too. They had one of their coaches had a connection to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and they had great athletes coming up from Fort Lauderdale. Chris Hipsley in the Hall of Fame, he's on the first 100-yard or 100-year team also as a fullback and the kicker. Still has points records at Cornell College. But, the rivalry with Lawrence.
Imagine being from Florida and you decide you want to go play college football in Division III in the middle of Iowa.
Yeah, see, and these kids, they were too small for D1, but they were good athletes, and they didn't know that you had other opportunities, And but, yeah, can you imagine coming up probably seeing snow like you've never seen before, if at all?
As my parents asked me, why did I go north for college? We wanted you to go south.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to too, but I chose this.
Shane French Jr. to kick off.
Wow.
8:39 left in the second quarter.
All
Shane
Ripon.
French to kick it off.
All Ripon. And when Lawrence had a chance to get back into this,
they shot themselves in the foot.
And that's part of the learning process, right, of getting
a short kick,
a winning tradition, trying to get back and start winning games.
Fielded on the bounce by...
And he'll be about the 36, 37-yard line, it looks like. There you got good field position, got the wind to their back. They need a score before halftime to feel good about themselves and to make it a two-score game by half.
An 8-yard return.
But 2015, the Banda Bowl was refurbished. And in doing so, they also, at that time, renamed the football field Ron Roberts Football Field. The guy deserved it. Heck of a coach. Oh, play action.
Picked off again by Deshaun Smith. Or no, that's not Deshaun Smith this time. But another interception by the Redhawks.
Oh, my. That was over the middle into heavy traffic. Play action pass. He faked the handoff. And what he thought he had, he didn't.
That was number 20, Lane Marquez. I'm sorry about the mispronunciation of the name.
I think Lane will forgive you. Don't worry about that.
And he is hyped on the sidelines. And he gives the Redhawks, once again, perfect field position to start another drive in this first half. Brady Immel has been gift-wrapped a beautiful opportunity in his first college start to add another chapter in this 131-year-old rivalry.
It's so
hard.
Hand
off to Timmons. Up the middle, jumped over a pile.
Yeah.
And he's going to gain a few yards on that one.
It's so hard for a defense. You just came off the field, and all of a sudden, guys, defense, you just got your helmet off. Now you're turning around. You're running back out. It's a good opportunity for Ripon to go for some damage here on something deep.
So there was a flag thrown after the play, unnecessary roughness called on Parker Campana. I didn't see anything.
No, but I'll tell you what, it's now first and a long ways.
Second and
forever.
Second and long.
Second and forever. A good 20 yards.
Ball Matt Hart at the Viking 48-yard line to make it second down.
Second and 21 to be exact.
I'm not used to seeing so many unsportsmanlike and personal fouls in football.
Well, obviously this is a rivalry game, so things tend to get chippy, but
I'm
not to this Not to this stage.
I'm kind of talking about the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The games that we've called, I know one thing. I got my butt chewed, or even my teammates.
That's going to be an illegal formation by the Redhawks.
I think you're right. 2 men moving.
So after the pick, 2 straight penalties have cost the Redhawks the prime field position they had.
Yeah, you're going the wrong way with just under 8 minutes remaining.
Boys, our end zone's that way.
Yeah, guys, and you're going into a wind that's really picked up considerably just looking at the flag right now.
I'm telling you, I'm seeing a lot of people with hot chocolate.
And
I might have to run down and grab one after
And I'm
this.
telling you, our connections to Ripon, you the baseball player, a sophomore, me, just a dinosaur from a long time ago, we got 2 LU people, graduates working here. We're
in the booth with the enemy.
Yeah, yes, undercover.
Double agents.
Both of them.
You better not be listening
LU.
on the play calling. Immel's going to take it with himself. He's got room to run. Brady Immel with about a 15-yard gain.
Nice done. Nicely done.
They're going to give him probably about 12 yards on that carry. Down to the Viking 41, so they're back to almost where they started from. It's going to be 3rd and 14 now. So it was a 12-yard gain by Immel. 3rd and 14, 10 seconds left on the play clock. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pass here. Campana and Mosqueda out on the sides. Immel back to pass.
Run it.
He's going to run it himself. Immel, he had the first down and he tripped over his own feet.
Yeah, he did. He caught a cleat in that turf.
But down at about the 31-yard line, so I think they're going to send out the field goal team. They would be kicking into the wind.
Yeah, and that's a pretty,
No.
I think it's with the ball spotted where it is.
Right now, there is.
No way. Not into that wind.
Right now, it's not the worst idea to go for it because you don't have much to lose.
Right. Punting.
You don't risk losing a lead if the play goes wrong.
Well, the ball, look where the ball is on the 32. And if you punt that into the end zone, that comes out to the 25. Yeah. So 7-yard difference, you go for it. And knowing that what you have with a 20-point lead on the scoreboard also gives you a lot of comfort making that decision as a coach.
Fourth and 5 on the Lawrence 32. Brady Immel with a chance to keep this drive going. 6:10 left in the first half.
10 seconds on the play clock. Lots of time.
Immel taking it himself.
Nope.
He did not get it.
It's going to be short. It's going to be about a yard and a half short.
So they went for it. Didn't work. No harm, no foul.
Nice job at the point of attack by Lawrence.
Yeah.
Jamming up those blockers and really giving no lane for Immel to tuck and run. Good job.
The ball is turned over to Lawrence University on down. From their own 29-yard line, it's first and 10.
We'll see at halftime if we get an opportunity to talk to Dr. Victoria Falls regarding a wonderful gift, if you will, to the college.
Williams with the handoff to Thompson, number 34. He picks up 3 on the play, moves it to the 32-yard line.
Second down and 7.
Brady Immel being looked at on the sidelines. Getting some tape on that left elbow. The Redhawks, I'm telling you, they really can't afford to lose many more quarterbacks. I know it's the last game of the season, but they're down to their 3rd string. And Cale Barnhart is their
and
4th.
Head coach doesn't have.
Snap is fumbled.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a loss of yards.
I think Ing gets credited for a sack, running in and just touching him as the quarterback did the right thing for Lawrence. Just snake your body around the ball. Don't try to pick it up and run. About the time you try to pick it up is when you get hit. Boom. So things going south here for Lawrence on 3rd and a bunch.
So far, the Red Hawk defense has outplayed their own offense. This is great, compatible football. Williams back to pass. He's being pressured. Deshaun Smith again. Deshaun Smith and Dante Goodner combine on the sack.
Wow.
Along with Gavin Eng in there.
Did it cave in? Great job by the defense.
It's another loss of 6.
Be 4th and 21, and the Vikings are going to punt this one away.
Vikings in punt formation.
And Ripon with 4 minutes of time when they get the ball back. It's going to be in good situation.
Spiraling punt, caught at midfield by Mosqueda. Makes a move. Gets to the 39-yard line. Alex Mosqueda gets about 11 on the return. And the Redhawks are going to start at their own 40 now.
Great opportunity to add to the lead with 3:54 remaining in the half.
An 8-yard return to the Lawrence University 40-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Redhawks.
Immel back in there in the backfield. He's got Decker out to his right. Mosqueda and Campana to his left. Decker in motion. Immel's going to take it himself. Finds a hole up the middle. Gains about 8 or 9 on the play.
Tackle made by Chris Lozano. Gain of 9. Down to the
Just about 3.5 minutes left here in the first half of play. Ripon leads Lawrence 20-0. It has been all Ripon so far.
And really, the whole key to that was Ripon to start the game was on offense. It was 3rd and 14. Lawrence holds them and makes Ripon punt on that 3rd and long situation. Who knows where we're at right now?
The complexion of the game could have completely changed.
Yeah, but the freshman quarterback Immel was too
Decker
young.
almost got in the way of that snap. Instead, Immel's going to take it himself and get the first down.
Yeah, runs for a couple yards. That's all he needed. And that's what happens with a first-time starting quarterback, right? I mean, a lot of times just the cadence, if you will, can cause mistakes by the Ripon offensive line or anybody for that matter on all those things. Of course, he's come in and played in 3 or 4 of the games this year, and that helps. That goes a long way, but never started. And what a game to get your first start in.
Oldest college football rivalry in the state of Wisconsin. 14th oldest college football rivalry across all divisions in U.S. history.
Yeah.
Jake Marshall wanted another unnecessary roughness on that call.
So they're playing for the Doling Hazeltine Memorial Trophy. Those were 2 gentlemen that coached long into their careers at their respective colleges.
It's going to be a timeout taken by Lawrence. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left in the first half.
Bernie Hazelton was the Lawrence coach from 1938 to 1964. And Carl Doling, and I met Carl Doling's widow and daughter doing business in town when I had a whole head of hair. I was young. And 1924 was Carl Doling to 1955. Interestingly, in 1955, there was a outbreak of polio epidemic in Appleton, Wisconsin. And in that year, Lawrence had to forfeit their first 3 games, and then Ripon got to play them in 55, but none of those games then counted in the conference that year because of that situation. Just another one of those factoids, if you will.
You find D3 traditions usually have a bit more panache and a lot more showmanship and storytelling behind it.
And we were talking about Grinnell College. They'll still play when they can. They'll still play Carleton College, a former member to the Midwest Conference. They have a rivalry game, Grinnell and Carleton, Minnesota. And they play for the Book of Knowledge. We're going to see University of Wisconsin Badgers get it on with the Gophers at
the Axe, the battle for the Axe.
The Paul Bunyan Axe. Yeah, everybody's got their unique.
Some rivalries are simply just bragging rights. USC Notre Dame is one of them. Immel's going deep towards the sidelines. Campana.
Out of bounds?
Out of bounds.
Yep.
Campana, even if he came down with it, was already out of bounds by the time the ball was gotten to him. 3rd and 9 now for the Redhawks.
And that's part of the game we'll see here. We have the advantage of sitting up here at the midfield watching. He's got to get rid of that ball
sooner.
A heartbeat sooner. And you see that tomorrow when you're watching professional football. You're going to see the same thing. You're going to see millionaire quarterbacks throwing the ball too late.
As my dad always says, getting paid millions of dollars, and they still make the same mistakes these guys make.
Yeah, which makes me say, man, what a great country.
It is. It really is a great country.
I can get paid for millions. I can get paid millions and not necessarily perform to the expectation. Now we'll get a timeout because there was
I get $50 a game to just say stuff like this on the air.
Hey, there you go. And you get to go and play baseball and in between studies. You get to travel south.
Yeah.
And go down.
I get to go warm places.
Springtime warm places. Yeah. Never played baseball. Have no idea what it's like to stand at the plate with a stick in my hand and have some guy throw a very hard object 85 miles an hour or more at me.
Hardest thing to do in sports, and I say in life.
Yeah, because they say, right, the best hitters.
The best hitters fail 3 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Or fail 7 out of 10 times.
Have a losing stat. Yeah.
As Ted Williams said, it's the only profession in the world where you can be successful 3 out of 10 times and still be called great.
Yeah, keep your job. So, after that timeout being made, 3rd and long, less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Ripon on top, 20-0. They still have not put this game away by any stretch.
It's been a dominant first half so far,
Absolutely.
But they need one more score here, and it'll go beyond dominant, which I don't even know what that word is.
Remember, in one of those touchdowns was scored
Immel's going to go down.
He's got him.
He's got Mosqueda open. It's caught. It's caught at the 2-yard line by Alex Mosqueda.
Well, don't you know, there was a ball thrown on time.
Yeah.
What a great toss by the Winneconne High School graduate.
And Alex Mosqueda just went up there with 2 hands and said, I'm coming down with this one.
Boy, did he high point that, is the terminology they use these days. Congratulations to the men's basketball team last night, beating top 10 ranked Arizona. Taking them to the woodshed, actually.
University of Wisconsin men's basketball team, we should say.
Yeah.
The Ripon Redhawks did not beat the Arizona Wildcats last night.
No, good point.
Would have been a close game, though.
The men are playing this afternoon, in fact, non-conference, taking on the Landfish, as I call the Muskies of Lakeland College, at 3:15 this afternoon in Lakeland.
I wouldn't be surprised to give it to Ramage again. There it is. Yep. Bullying up the middle.
He is a bully.
Ooh, if he would have reached out, he might have had it.
He is a bully, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Bullying his way.
Brought down right at the 1 by Mo Bradshaw of the Vikings.
The Ducks come to Madison tonight.
Oregon, big matchup for the Badgers.
Oh my! I don't know if they can climb that mountain. The speed of Oregon. We'll find out tonight at 6:30. Here we go. Taking 2 H-backs from right to left. I would suggest power to the left.
Ramage is going to take it. He runs into his own man. He ran into Campana.
Ramage on the carry. Tackle made by Carter.
That should be for a
loss.
A loss, I would think.
Play loses 1.
3rd and goal on the 2-yard line.
Clock ticking down to 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Ripon up 20-0, pitching a shutout. Clock continues to tick.
Will more than likely be the last offensive play of the half, unless Ripon.
Third down. It's third down, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Bringing the play clock into factor, though. I think Ripon might take a timeout here.
Yeah, they're counting it down. Yep, that's what he wanted.
Yep, they're going to take a timeout with 8 seconds left in the half. It's the last of the half for the Redhawks. They are on the Lawrence 2-yard line. They have a 3rd and 2 situation, or a 3rd and goal situation.
Well,
I would not be surprised to see the ball go to Connor Ramage here.
If I'm Lawrence, I'm going to bet no way is Coach Jacob Marshall for Ripon College going to let the freshman put that ball up in the air.
No.
So I've just eliminated half of what you have to consider in terms of, if you buy into that. And so they're going to keep it on the ground.
If I were also a betting man,
I
wouldn't be surprised to see Lawrence showing full blitz here.
Right. But you're going to have to maintain your lane responsibility if you do that. If you get cut inside and they get a seal block, you're going to tiptoe on the outside into the end zone. So it becomes a chess game here.
Ramage in the backfield. He's got Campana, Bruzon, and Mosqueda out on the sides for him.
Yeah. Now, unless he's going to go to Mosqueda, say, hey, this ball's going to meet you in the back pylon on a timing pattern on 3rd down, an incomplete pass would stop the clock. That's something else to remember with 8 seconds remaining.
He's going to throw it over the middle. It's caught by Brownell. Bryce Brownell.
And there he did. Quick release over the middle. He was an orphan, wasn't he?
The tight end, Bryce Brownell, in the middle of the end zone, and he is hyped on the sidelines. Jump around is playing for the 4th time here at the Hopp.
Well, an old quarterback coach, that's the head coach, had enough trust in his freshman quarterback to say, hey, let's do this. And by golly,
Lawrence was showing blitz.
And
the quick release from Brady Immel.
Yeah.
And Shane French hammers another one through. 27-0 Redhawks.
And was that receiver open on the release? I don't know if he stayed in for a 1 count like he was going to block and then just released to the end zone. He was an orphan either way.
And that ball was not a particularly well-thrown ball.
A little high.
Brownell, full extension.
Yeah.
A shorter body, but he used every inch of his wingspan to grab that ball.
I suspect there's some adrenaline going. Still go through that body of that young quarterback for the Redhawks. Yeah.
That's Brady Immel's first career touchdown pass, I believe.
Yeah.
And it comes in a historic rivalry matchup.
Well, the defense is pitching a shutout, so if you're a Ripon College fan, you're pleased with that. We saw what the offense is doing.
Yeah.
And you got everything going for you right now.
Sellout crowd at the Hopp.
Boy, it is a big crowd.
Everything is going perfectly, not only for the Redhawks, but for Rick Coles' last game as a coach.
Yeah, good
potentially
point.
In his career.
Good point.
But what a way to send him out so far. This game's not over yet.
No. All it takes is a return here.
Yep. 5 seconds left, so this will be the last play of the first half.
Talked earlier about how impressive special teams has been all season, at least for all the home games that we've covered up to this date. So because of that, you kick away, right? Not a squib kick. Well, there's your squib kick. And it's to perfection.
Well,
30-yard
they're going to get an offensive play in.
With the wind. Outstanding first half being played here by the host Redhawks this afternoon. I mean, think about that. 1893.
Yeah.
I mean,
131 years later, we're still playing the same game.
Oh, man. That is, the history.
But Lawrence is going to kneel out the last play of the first half. and both teams are going to go into the locker rooms. Very different feelings. Lawrence is going to go in and realize, hey, we need to show up in the second half. And Ripon's going to go in here. We're not going to let them show up.
No. We metaphorically have our foot on them. We're going to keep them down. And Lawrence is saying, you know what? We got to eat a can of spinach here.
We'll be back for the second half here in a few. Ripon 27, Lawrence 0, 134th year of this rivalry. We'll be back.
So I'm thinking of you. They're incredible creatures.
Redhawks will be kicking off to the Vikings to begin the third quarter. To receive, number 5, Asher Lynn. 16, Julius Christensen. And kicking off for Ripon, Shane.
We're back with the second half of this great game between Ripon and Lawrence. Ripon leads 27-0. Shane French on to kick for the second half.
And yes, it is a great game if you're a Redhawk fan.
And we are, so it is.
There you go.
Received back at about the 7.
Good
Up
speed.
around the right sideline.
Good speed.
He's got blockers. He's at the 40, 35, and he tried to Saquon Barkley him. He's out at about the 32-yard line. He tried to Saquon Barkley him. That only works if you're in the NFL.
No, I think he knew he ran out of real estate, and he just went airborne into him. He knew he wasn't going to get done, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to see what I'm just going to finish with a big heap and try to land on the defender." Great,
but he started at the
return.
7-yard line and brought it back to the 33 of Ripon.
Yeah, outside contain was beaten on Ripon, and one of the few times we've seen the special teams kickoff coverage get beat.
So now let's see if the defense can hold their own here, as they've now had to deal with Lawrence inside Red Hawk territory for, I think, the first time all day. Williams back to pass. He's going to go towards the middle, and it's going to be incomplete.
He's got two interceptions, and that one right there, heavy traffic. It's not like,
yes, there was.
And we're not talking single coverage. We're talking double coverage, and
a la Brett Favre.
His selection, he just doesn't have that arm that Brett does, but his selection.
I was saying a la Brett Favre and thrown into triple coverage.
It's almost like he's, in his mind, has made up his mind where he's going to go.
That's not a good thing to have as a quarterback. He's going to throw again.
There you go.
It's going to be caught. That's number 14, Alex Lippert.
Now it brings up a third and doable with about needing 2.5 yards. That was just a quick slant, high percentage pass, one-on-one coverage. The receiver used his backside on the cut to get the defender on his backside, and he's going to have to pass interference if he's going to do something.
3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Redhawks need a defensive stand here.
And the emotion coming out of that locker room by Lawrence, starting with the kickoff return. See if that carries over into a first down here on 3rd and short.
Man in motion. He's going to get the first down, or is he?
Yep, he got it.
Keeper by Aiden Williams.
Boy, sure look. Whoa. Now it looks
Nope,
close.
they're going to give him. They're going to give him the first down.
Yep.
8 of 3.
Got it.
To the 23. Just enough.
Let's see if they're going to go no huddle here. They see if they want to kind of get things going here.
So now they start over 1st and 10 on the 23 of Ripon now. Aiden Williams in the backfield. He's going to go for the pass. It's knocked down by Gavin Ing. Just extended that right paw and knocked it out of the air. So great play by Ing on 1st and 10 to set up another 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10.
Williams in the backfield. He's with Carlson. Carlson's gotten the majority of the plays ran through him on the offensive side for the Vikings today.
Trips left.
Eng almost knocked that one out of the air, too.
Oh.
But he's going to be brought down by Zane Vetter. He had some room to run, but Vetter just brought him down from behind.
Vetter doesn't make that play. He's gone for double-digit yards.
He might be into the end zone.
Yeah, we'll never know. But big, important tackle by Vetter, the sophomore.
Official timeout now is number 74. Jake Van Fossen is down on the field with an injury for the Vikings. It's a tough scene. You never want to see someone go down like that, especially in a game like this. You always want the guys who are best on the field to be able to finish out a rivalry game.
Right. The 112th meeting in 2012, isn't that interesting? At the Bantam Bowl in this rivalry game with the Redhawks and the Vikings. Ron Ernst, all-time winningest coach at Ripon College. They beat Lawrence University in just maybe the most exciting game of the series, 56-55. And that was back in 2012. And then 9 years later, Ernst, on his last game to coach at Ripon College here at the Ingalls Field, takes them to the woodshed, the Vikings, beats them 82-0. Which to this day is the all-time most lopsided win by
Third
either
and
ball
6.
club.
Sorry there.
No.
3rd and 6. Ball on the Ripon 19-yard line. Aiden Williams in the backfield. Carlson behind him. Little movement on the defensive side from the Redhawks. Williams back to pass. He's going towards the end zone. It's going to be underthrown. No flag. So it's going to be 4th and 6. The Vikings would be kicking into the wind if they elect for a field goal here, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to go for it.
A field goal will do you no good. Being down 27-0 and how
you got to get yourself back into this game somehow.
Exactly.
It's either a go big or go home
roll the
situation
dice
right here.
Yeah. You got to roll the dice here.
It's a game of craps. You ever seen the movie The Bronx Tale?
Oh yeah.
It's all about
Multiple.
luck. It's all about luck. This is a luck play right here.
All right, 4th and 7.
Williams back to pass. He's going towards the same receiver. It's going to be caught.
Does he have the yardage?
Perry
Let's
brings
see.
him down. I don't know if he's got the yardage.
He does. First down.
Yup.
Wow.
Tackled on the play, Nolan Perry.
Wow.
Let's
Nice
see how
play.
they spot it.
I think
They're going to give the ball to Ripon. They didn't get the first down.
Oh my. I was looking at
What a play by Nolan Perry.
I was looking at the ref. He was a yard past the line with his foot, and then great job. They withheld.
What a play by Nolan Perry, one of the biggest tackles of the game.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't seem big since Ripon has a 27-point lead, but that might have just given back the momentum to the Redhawks.
Yeah, if Lawrence goes in to score, makes it a 3-score game early in the second half. And so what a big afternoon number 8 is having so far.
A pick 6 and a big tackle.
On a fourth down.
First and 10 Redhawks. Brady Immel out there for the second half. Ramage in the backfield with him. Trips out to the right. Ramage in motion. Immel back to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to run it himself. Makes a move. Out to the left.
Oh.
Brought down from behind. Immel hit hard. But he picks up a lot of yardage. Not quite to the first down yet.
Man, he took
But that was about a
shot.
7-yard gain.
He took a shot to the helmet as well.
Like we said, good genetics make up for a lot. Brady Immel obviously has national championship genetics from his father, Mike Immel.
Is he elusive, huh?
Yes, he is.
His ability to move laterally and then accelerate, very deceptive. They found out on early in the game in 3rd and 14. Lawrence, if to have any hopes at all, has to make this.
A bad snap picked up by Ramage. And he's going to be swallowed up for a loss behind the line of scrimmage as there's another Lawrence lineman down on the field.
Yeah, that nose tackle, 31.
Number 31, Carter Rivers, who earlier in the game, his unnecessary roughness penalty ended up costing Lawrence a touchdown on the Ripon side.
Yeah, and he's in pain with that left knee.
The play loses.
Now, as we take an injury timeout here, Marty, we were talking about it potentially before the half. Did you have an opportunity to talk with President Fultz?
Nope. No. But what it was, the largest single gift has been given to Ripon College in the amount of $20 million. And also, and there's no anything tied to it, the discretion of the Board of Trustees and the administration of Ripon College can use that as they see fit. And there was a laundry list of items that I was looking at online.
I was looking at there might be bringing back the Merriman House.
Well, they are. They're supposed to be breaking ground next year, and they're going to take that fraternity, and they're going to build another fraternity house on the spot of where the old one was torn down. And so that's going to go a long way.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into
direction.
An Animal House
situation. They're also taking they're also doing some of the dorms. They're getting collaborative spaces they're going to create and do that. And there's about 2 or 3 other items. So that's and that's a big part of their 5-year plan, which was their goal, I believe, was $75 million over a 5-year period, and they've exceeded that already. So congratulations to the people behind that. And I think Sean Karsten is involved with that to a large degree. And those people, and to Dr. Victoria Falls. Outstanding job by Ripon College in making sure the future looks bright.
3rd and 12.
That
now.
science building is going to be completed here next month.
3rd and 12. Ball on the Redhawk 15. Immel pumps under pressure. And he's going to get very few yards. It's going to be 4th and 8. And Ripon's going to bring out the punt team with the wind of their backs again now.
And what a nice job that young man has done punting that ball this afternoon.
Carl Travis.
Yeah, this is when you enjoy being a punter with that type of wind to your back.
Oh yeah.
Get a good snap here. Low.
Bad snap, picked up on the hop, and an end-over-end punt.
Which could work.
It's going to take a Ripon bounce. Makes a man miss.
Nice.
And the second tackle did not miss at the 41.
Excellent corralling by the kickoff coverage team.
That had the Ripon bounce in mind.
Nowhere to go.
Just picked up.
Yeah, the end-over-end worked. So with that good kickoff coverage, they were able to keep Lawrence from breaking into Ripon territory. We'll talk about, as this offensive series goes with Lawrence, we're going to talk about some of the other traditions that Lawrence has, actually, with regards to this rival.
Williams alone in the backfield. Trips to the right, 2 men to the left. That's going to be a false start.
Boy, everybody, I could hear them up in the booth, people from different locations. Everybody calling it. You could hear the crowd calling it.
I could see about 3 defensive linemen for the Redhawks all point in unison at the Lawrence offensive line.
So just in case the officials needed some assistance.
Well, it just seems like these last couple of games, the last 2 games we've done, there have been a lot of missed offsides and false start calls.
Was it the last one in particular?
Beloit.
With the Beloit game? Yeah.
Snap to Williams. Williams is going to take it himself up the middle.
Yeah.
He's not going
anywhere. Paid the price for it. Quarterback draw.
4.
Yeah, he pump faked and then tucked and ran. That was a predetermined play up the A-gap by the QB to bring up a 2nd and 1.
41. 2nd down, 11.
Well, this is where they want to definitely convert and get a new set of downs right now.
And you look down at the bench and you see one of the coaches on the far left, Rick Coles.
Yep.
This last half of football as a Ripon coach, you'd think the emotions have to be setting in at some point for him. There's a handoff to Carlson up the middle, and he's going to barely get to the line of scrimmage.
Like he said in our pregame interview, by the way, that was so nice of everybody to cooperate when I thought of that last night sitting home, that we were able to do that. And it's like during the week, this last week, Rick's going, well, this is the last Tuesday I'll ever coach. Well, this will be the last Wednesday I'm going to coach. And I kind of talked to him about as a player, because I remember my last practice as a player. So I'm like, wow, it's over. We're going to play tomorrow at 1 for a conference championship. But that's it. That's going to be it.
3rd and 8. Ball on the Lawrence 44-yard line. Snap to Williams. Looking to pass. It's going to be dropped at midfield.
Off his fingertips. It was good enough to be caught. He knows it. It's got to be frustrating. Here's a tradition that still goes on, though it's had to take a back seat recently. Upon a victory by the Vikings over the Redhawks, the bell in Main Hall on the Lawrence campus is rung. The bell is only rung 3 times annually. The other 2 times, matriculation, which is just the formal entering of the educational institution, and commencement. That's it. And they haven't been able to ring it for Ripon victory in 20 years. But it's going to happen eventually.
Spiraling punt.
Nice catch.
A catch and a spin move
all
at once.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah, it did.
Hey, give him credit. He's got the guts of a burglar to get up there and surrounded in white jerseys and catch that ball on the fly
he does.
And secure it.
It's funny you mentioned that victory bell. Almost sounds like the one scene in Greece when the football coach is making the speech at the pep rally, and he goes, "We're going to come back and ring that victory bell, just like we always wanted to."
Well, is there a bell at Union Hall up in the tower?
I don't believe.
I'm not sure.
Up here, yes, I think there is.
Yeah, well.
It was not rung at commencement from what I remember, or matriculation from what I remember last year.
Yeah.
But I believe there is one.
If it did, it'd have a crack in it by now.
Run out to the left from Immel, and he's going to get brought down just after the 40.
They use that expression, with total disregard for their body.
Yeah.
That run right there is very symbolic of that.
And you love to see a quarterback who's able to disregard his body just to get a few more yards.
As long as he gets up, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially if he gets up with the situation the Redhawks are in right now and their third-string quarterback.
Yeah, because I was making the comment earlier, Jacob Marshall, the head coach and former quarterback at Ripon, has no eligibility left.
Yeah. Hand off to Timmons, and he's not going anywhere.
They were waiting for him 2 yards into the backfield. It's like the defensive unit for Lawrence knew that play, and they were waiting for it.
Now
3rd and 4 on the Redhawks' own 40-yard line. Immel and Timmons in the backfield.
Give a lot of credit to Bryce Bronell, 42. Man, he is the whole game. He's there, and he blocks.
And he caught a touchdown pass earlier.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen very often. Reverse.
An end around. Bruzon is going to get the first down and more. He ran over Mosqueda as he got out of bounds.
He gave a good shoulder into his teammate. He's probably talking about it right now.
Alex is coming over and going, hey, man, what the heck?
Where's the love, man? Where's the love?
I'll show you the love when we get into the end zone.
Oh, man.
Until then,
that was
we
funny.
playing football.
That was funny.
There's going to be a warning issued to Lawrence. I wasn't able to hear what it was.
This game's been all Ripon. Lawrence came out to start the second half in a great kickoff return to give them really good position.
They went to the
probably the best they've had in the whole game in terms of offensively where they were.
That kick return was their best play of the game.
Yeah. Point made.
First and 10, still inside Lawrence territory now. And, dude, they are reading the handoff to Timmons perfectly.
Yeah, that was just closing it down. The defensive end just closed it down. Or was he? Let's see. No, he's the linebacker. Came down. I think that was a preconceived play. He just happened to come down and go right into it. Great play by the kid for that tackle of a loss.
2nd and 13 now for the Redhawks. Fake the handoff. Bruzon, he's got room to run.
Wow.
Stiff arm, and he's bringing a guy along the ride.
What blocking.
Down to the 40.
What blocking by Mosqueda. Holy smokes. You know how when you ride a bull, it's got to be, 7 seconds, 8 seconds?
Yeah.
I think that's how long Mosqueda was tied up on his stock block.
And good on him for being able to stick with it that long without getting called for a holding.
Exactly, and it's right in front of the side judge, too. I mean, he's right there.
It's going to be 3rd and 1 on the Lawrence 40. Don't be surprised to see Immel take it with himself here.
Good call. I would.
Bruzon in motion. And Immel's going to take it himself. Yeah. He's got room. He's got about a 10-yard gain. And a Red Hawk first down.
You know, he's what I refer to as a quiet runner. His acceleration is so subdued. It's so quiet. It is so... nothing's all the body parts. Nothing is really. He just kind of flows. But
it's like if you turned a Ferrari into a hybrid.
Very quick feet. Yeah.
0 to 60 in about 2 seconds, and you won't hear a thing.
And it doesn't. You just don't see the animated body. You
don't see the arms start pumping faster.
No, none of that.
You don't see him. You don't hear him just start puffing.
Yeah. It's very quiet, relaxed.
Immel back to pass.
He's
going deep towards the end zone. No, he's not, but he's got Campano wide open, still on his feet, inside the 5. Parker Campano with the catch and gain. And Brady Immel just brought the Redhawks down inside the Lawrence 5.
And by the way, my apologies. That was Campana on that stock block earlier. Oh.
And a roughing the passer to go against Lawrence as well.
That's a frustration play on that.
So they're going to bring it to the 3-yard line now.
You and I took our eyes when he released the ball, and we didn't see the late hit. We took our eyes down to the reception.
And look who's coming in now that the ball is inside the red zone. Number 23, Connor Ramage. Geez, I wonder where the house money will go on this one.
And it's the Redhawks first down.
Crete, this is our last game of this season.
It's been fun working with you. First few football games of my career for broadcasting. Fumble! But Immel's going to pick it up for a gain.
Oh, my.
He's going to pick it up and move it to the 1-yard line.
If I am Lawrence, how frustrated am I that ball seemed to sit there for a lifetime.
A fumble, and the Redhawks gained 2 yards on it. It was a botched handoff.
Yeah.
And Lynn Krause saying what we were all thinking.
Let's not assume that's a regular set play.
That's a trick play. It's a trick play. They knew what they were doing the whole time.
Right. And the trick play is to do something when the opposition least expects it.
Ramage in the backfield with Immel. Ball goes to Ramage, and he goes into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the day. Connor Ramage, have yourself a day, kid. Yeah. Happy senior day, and jump around is alive and well once again in the second half. 3:44 left in the 3rd quarter, and Connor Ramage with one of the best games of his career on the last game. Save the best for last, they always say. He sure is. And Shane French on to kick yet another extra point attempt. 33-0 so far. I was wrong, 34.
There you go.
34-0. 3:44 left in the 3rd quarter, and the Ripon Redhawks continue to dominate the Lawrence Vikings. There's a flag on that play.
And our Lawrence alumnus, our technicians, our camera lady, they are LU grads. And I'll tell you, they're nothing but professional. And they do a nice job, I'll tell you, taking care of. They were here way before we were today for the setup, get everything going.
An unsportsmanlike conduct was called on number 66, Avery Jobelius of Ripon.
Yeah, see, I don't want that. I
didn't see anything.
I didn't either.
I don't think they understand what it means.
And I don't know. It's just part of the game I'm not used to seeing. Am I just an old generation guy? I don't know. I was always too tired to do anything in a celebratory manner. I'm serious. I was like, let's get back to the huddle. I need to rest. Yeah. It's a different, you watch TV, you watch a professional NFL game, and you see Division I games, and you see where a lot of that comes from. A lot of that type of reactions and behavior and so forth. I'm watching this game earlier, and Lawrence is losing by 34-0, and before that last touchdown, what are you doing? I saw that tackle for a loss by Lawrence, and the guy looks at the Ripon quarterback and goes like that, and I'm going like, hey, you guys are getting waxed. Save that for another time. But I'm different generation.
Well, if you're a senior on Lawrence, obviously the emotions are running high. This is your last football game you're probably ever going to play.
Right.
This is not the way you want to go out.
No, and boy, you talk about a point as we get the ball down to the 17-yard line. Here we go.
Another big return from a Lawrence player. Flag on the play.
Nice run.
Out to about the 43-yard line from number 5, Asher Lynn. What a name for a football player, Asher Lynn.
Any kind of an athlete. Running anchor on the 800-meter relay team.
Really?
Right? Yeah, great name. Sounds fast. We're still in the 3rd quarter here. 3.5 minutes roughly remaining. Ripon has been in control of this game from beginning. 34-0. Crete Slattery, Martin Ernster here, bringing you the game. Talking the Ripon channel and Midwest Conference.
Going to be a blindside block on Ripon. And Jake Marshall and a few of the other coaches are unaware of what even transpired. And that's going to move the ball down into Redhawk territory, down to their 42-yard line.
Huh.
So they called a blindside block. I don't know if that's another word for a block in the back.
Yeah, it is. But Lawrence is the one with the ball.
Handoff. They're going to get some yardage. Oh, flipped over.
Nice job.
By number 24, Logan Vandergalen,
Mr. Randolph. Mr. Randolph, Wisconsin. Way to use that right shoulder. That's a nice football tackle right there. You don't have to say anything. You make that play, just get back to the huddle. You don't, and he didn't. I like that. Just stick him.
2nd and 5 now.
Tight formation.
Handoff again. Hard hit, and they're going to get the first down, though.
Yeah.
Tackled on the play, Andy Farrer.
Andy Farrer with the hit.
8 of 7. Down to the 30. That will give the Vikings a first down.
You know, that's the other thing for a rivalry game. Appleton, Wisconsin from Ripon, Wisconsin, just up the Fox River Valley, just up Highway 41. You know, so the proximity does that. Kind of like you look at Xavier and University of Cincinnati in Cincinnati, just across the river from one another. Those types of locations make a difference,
Williams
too.
to pass. Hit as he caught it, but he holds onto the football. And he's hit out of bounds.
Nolan Perry.
28.
Nolan Perry was the one that hit him and was hoping that'd be enough, and it wasn't without the wrap. So they always talk to you about hit and wrap.
The gain of 3 to the 27. 2nd down and 7.
It's getting chilly out there. I see you finally put your jacket. I walked in here in pregame and you had just your polo shirt on. Now
I'm just a dumb kid who doesn't know what temperature feels
you're
like.
You're just worried about your mom finding out. Have to deal with that.
Shh, she's listening. Williams with the fake, and he's going to get. He stayed on his feet. Lops one up. That was a dangerous play by Williams.
He's a competitor.
And they're going to, they want to call for grounding.
Yeah.
And they throw the flag, a very late flag.
So it's loss of down. That's what gets you on a intentional grounding call. It's loss of down. So you don't get that over again. You just get the negative real estate.
So they now move back to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and...
So the Lawrence Vikings, their logos, they have the LU on the side of the helmet. Used to be a painted Viking horn, just like the Minnesota Vikings. I miss those, actually. Cornell Rams.
3rd and 18.
Yeah. He's looking
Williams
left, looking
pass.
left.
Ooh, Deshaun Smith almost had him. There's a flag on the play. Williams still with the ball. He goes deep down the sideline. Knocked down out of the air. There's going to be a flag on the play, though.
Well, we'll have to see.
It looked like there might have been a hold on Deshaun Smith.
Depending
being held by a Lawrence player.
Yeah, usually where the key is where the flag is thrown, right? If it's around the line of scrimmage, tends to be a hold, and that's what it was.
Holding on the offense.
Decline, take the down, 3rd and forever.
On number 86,
4th and forever.
Kyle Zumdone.
We got round ball season just around the corner.
I'll be joining you for that.
I'll see. Yeah, I'm going to see you in the field house in the
Weisky Gymnasium.
Hawk Nest, KG Duck Weisky. Good family friend.
Blumenthal to punt it away.
Looks like a
Mosqueda called for a fair catch, but he's going to let it roll, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 1 yard line. And number 15 with the little Joker act jumping on a grenade. The grenade already exploded on your sideline.
My.
You're down 34-0.
That was funny.
These antics.
That was funny.
The antics aren't half as funny if you're down 34-0 as if you're up 34-0.
Oh, my.
First and 10, Ripon College.
It's all fun and games until he misses and lands on his shoulder.
We're still in the third quarter, folks.
Game is almost kind of just snailing on by.
Oh, not almost. It is.
Ramage. Oh! Ramage runs over a defender, getting a few yards on the carry. Wow.
Paid the price, huh?
Yeah, he did.
I got to snake my head all the way around.
Second down and 5.
Actually, that wasn't Connor Ramage. That's number 26. That's number 26, Xavier Getzinger, the senior. So he has a highlight on senior day.
Kenosha Tremper. I know a heck of a football player that played at Kenosha Tremper.
Or Alan Amici. Now Getzinger's going to break away for one. He's still on his feet. He's going to keep going. He's at the 50, 45, 40. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Xavier Getzinger with back-to-back highlight plays on senior day.
Wow, they're going to bring it back. They're going to say that Mosqueda's crackback block that just blew up the Lawrence player was unnecessary roughness. And so they'll spot that at the foul and then go 15 the other way. Yeah. Yeah, I got my ankle broken on a blindside block last play of a game. It was meaningless on a kickoff. Only time I ever broke a bone. My freshman year.
It doesn't take away from the fact that was a heck of a run by Getzinger.
It was a heck of a block by Mosqueda, but he didn't see it coming. Blindside, you can't do it. So it cost him about what, 30 yards.
32-yard line. It will be a
that term where they deplete, he was depleted. He went airborne backwards. Yeah, I was glad to see him get up. Those types of slobber knockers, call them. Well, I think this is where we could interject rivalry game again.
Yeah. Although, is there much of a rivalry between a hammer and a nail?
All right. Yeah, it's good. And Lawrence, it's been 20 years. You know, are you going to be the boot or are you going to be the fanny? And Ripon's been the boot for the last 20, it would appear to be 21 years.
Time runs out on the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter. Ripon leading 34-0 over Lawrence here at the Hopp.
It's the Redhawks 34, the Vikings 0.
Get some more upperclassmen in there,
yep.
Huh? You got the game under control. You got 15 minutes left.
If I'm not mistaken, I think every senior has played so far.
Yeah.
I think Getzinger was the last guy they needed to get in there.
Well, he certainly made his impact.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't he?
Ran a guy over and then ran it about 50 yards out. Unfortunately, the penalty brought it back and took about 30 yards off that run.
Good for that kid. I want to talk about Brock Reisler. Does just an outstanding job of getting the information out to me and to executive producer Riley Eisnagel. Everybody else just does a great job. He provides us what we need to be effective, and he does it early in the week. So I can be studying and looking at name pronunciations and so forth. He is the director of athletic communications, and Brock just does a tremendous job for us.
Getzinger again in the backfield. They're going to give it back to him. Not as effective as his last run, though. He gets to the line of scrimmage.
Chris Schumacher, our athletic director, he came from Illinois Wesleyan.
No gain.
And Victoria Falls,
Second down and 10.
I believe her undergraduate might have been at Illinois Wesleyan, I think. I was looking forward to talking to her. Maybe we'll have to do this next year. I didn't realize her background was psychiatric nursing and so on. That's what my wife's career was. And
second and 10 now.
She got her PhD, I think, at St. Louis University in Washington.
Hand out to Getzinger again. He's got an open lane, but he was brought down at about the 35.
Or I should say,
gain of 3.
Yeah, I should say St. Louis University. And PhD, Dr. Foles, who is the 14th president, by the way, of Ripon College, got her master's.
The first female president as well.
Yeah. And adult mental health nursing is what she got that in. And then, like I said, her undergraduate degree was Illinois Wesleyan University. Well-versed. Her hobby, antiquing. I was going to ask her if she's been to Herman, Missouri, which has
Immel rolling out to the right.
Oh,
he's going to take it himself.
Hang on to that ball. Ooh.
He's got the first down.
A little shot around the neck.
By Brady Immel. Tackled by Roy Wiley.
Moves the chains. Attaboy.
It's a gain of 8 to the 43. And results in another Redhawks first down.
Frank Baressa was the All-American center. Big guy, 6'3", probably 265. Good move. He was the center at Lawrence.
Seems small by today's standards at lineman.
In 1970s for a center? No. Well, I'm guessing at that.
Hand out to Getzinger. He's going to get a maybe 1.
But understand, he's an All-American. You know what that tells me?
And a little flop out there at the about the 40-yard line.
Number 8, yeah.
It's a gain of 1.
He can move his feet. Frank can move his feet.
Redhawks playing hurry-up football here. Wow.
They all turn their heads. This is all Pavlovian conditioning. You see movement on the offensive line, you move. So when they turn their heads to get the play.
Handoff. Immel's going to take it himself. And he gets a few.
Brady Immel on the carry.
Gain of about 3 or 4.
He hasn't turned the ball over today, has he?
No, he has not.
And he's gotten close. Just, some of the snaps that weren't his fault. Other times that ball squirted out of his hands down inside the 5 and got a couple yards out.
He's also the only quarterback I've ever seen to fumble a handoff and still gain 2 yards on a play.
And the ball was there as naked as a jaybird with nobody around it saying, hey, take me.
Pick me up,
who wants me? Yeah. And Lawrence is sitting there going, oh, man, you could just read the body language of some of those guys like, I can't believe we couldn't recover that. There's some dog owners up on top directly across from our booth watching the game, all bundled up in blankets. So they're going 15 the other way.
I tell you what's funny about it is as the ref was giving his signal, Parker Campana was standing behind him to the referee's right, giving the exact same call, mimicking his actions. Campana knows how to get under a guy's skin. I've noticed that by watching the last few weeks.
I'm telling you, there was nothing like that when I played. You made the play, you got back to the huddle.
38-yard line.
It's going to be a 1st and 10 now for the Redhawks.
It's another Redhawks first down.
Crowd doing a little interaction with Len Krause's first down call.
Boy, it looks like they're coming. Look they're all up on the line. You only got one safety.
Getzinger breaks free. He's got a couple of yards. Xavier Getzinger. Kid is making the most of his time here on senior day.
Well, and you look at him, number 26, and he is, he's put together pretty well. I mean, He's like, what, 5'9", 5'10", but he's over 200 pounds. He's thick.
End around to Mosqueda, and he's going to pick up a first down and more.
Wow. Jitterbug there. My first thought is when he turns it up inside, I'm throwing, hey, I know what, I think you had the outside. I think you had the corner there. But then he jitterbugs and fights his way, jukes his way, if you will.
We have another injury on the field for Lawrence.
It's a gain of 10 to the 23.
Just under 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Head coach Lauren Buzalaki took her ladies out west. Go west, young man, go west. And state of Washington, that's right, state of Washington, and came away with 2 victories. And then last night was upended by, I think, Wisconsin Lutheran, and lost that. I went to the stats and looked at it. It was very even, all the stats, shooting percentages, turnovers, takeaways, fast break points, points off the bench, and scoring in the paint. It was very similar for both ball clubs. I think the difference might have been, statistically looking at it, was just they made a few more three-point shots than Ripon did. And they'll get back into it really soon here. And then the men are playing, they split when they went east. Was it Virginia maybe?
Yes, Virginia.
And they got manhandled in game 1, came back and won game 2. And then they're going to play their 3rd contest of the season. In fact, they're teeing it up in 1 hour at about 3:15. They're at Lakeland College. And Coach Finko and his guys are going to get ready to play in about an hour here.
Brady Immel taking it to the right. He's going to get a few yards on that play.
Brady Immel on the carry. Tackled by Jacob Stanley.
We are not going to be broadcasting some of the non-conference games, but we'll be doing all of the conference games, the Ripon channel. This year, the women will play on weekends. They'll play at 1, the men to follow around 3. And
opposite of last year.
Yes, they flip-flop it each year, who plays first and who goes next. And then after this play,
Immel in the backfield, Getzinger next to him. Lost his mouthpiece, puts it back in. Hand off to Getzinger. Not going anywhere.
He's fighting, but you're right. Defense. Some of those defensive linemen do a very good job of getting off the blocks.
Tackled on the play, Cole Brower.
They do have a win under their belt this year, Lawrence.
That came against, I believe, as I flip through my media guide here.
I was talking about Jerry Clark, the coach of Cornell College.
That came against Beloit.
Beloit.
On October 19th.
And Jerry Clark was the coach at Cornell from 1959 to 1986. He won a half dozen Midwest Conference championships. My junior year, they beat us. We were down by 3 touchdowns at halftime, like 20-0. And that veer, they run that veer offense. And our best defensive back was out with a bad ankle, a senior. And we took a freshman from Menominee Falls, and he bit on play action on 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter. We were down by 3 scores at half. We came back mightily, and we ended up losing that game 23-20, 23-21. And the play, we were out of timeouts. There's 2 minutes left. Cornell has the ball. Coach Giese, a great coach in his own right, calls Black Okie Storm, which is you send everything, including the kitchen sink. And to his credit, Coach Jerry Clark called a screen pass and got the first down and then ran the clock out. And then we had a chance to get him back the following year, and we did. So, but another great, good coaches. You know, you look at Ernst, you look at Jerry Clark, you look at my coach, Bob Giese. You look at Ron Roberts at Lawrence. John Storzer, the late, great John Storzer, who won, I believe, 6 or 7 conference championships.
Well, we're back on the action here at the Hopp. 3rd and 4 on the Lawrence 17. Here in the fourth quarter, 9:43 left to play in this ball game. And you look down at the sidelines, you see Mackenzie Shep, the Red Hawk kicker, getting warmed up on the sidelines. We might see her in to kick an extra point if the Red Hawks can put one in here. Mosqueda's going to look to throw. No, he's going to pump fake. He's coming back the other way. Makes a move. Throws the guy down to the turf, and he picked up the first down. Alex Mosqueda, what an athlete.
You talk about trying to tackle the grease pig, or in that Rocky whatever number it was where he's trying to catch the rooster in the alley.
His rooster is as faster than grease lightning.
How elusive is he?
Yeah. Oh, 4th and 1.
Okay.
Red Hawks are going to go for it. They got 3 men in the backfield.
Quarterback keeper.
They gave it to Getzinger, and Getzinger's got the first down.
I couldn't see that. I never saw the exchange. Great. Sometimes you do a wildcat, right? You take the running back, let him take the snap if he's used to taking the snap from the center.
Oh, it wasn't Getzinger. Who was it?
I couldn't see it.
Number
More
28.
importantly, they got the first down.
That was number 29, Carson Bodwine, on the carry.
Hey, the more the merrier. Huh?
Yeah. Trips out to the right. Timeout taken by the Red Hawks here with 8:16 left.
This will conclude their season. You know, and like I said earlier, there's 2 games they let get. There's a conference game with Cornell. They could have won, Ripon. And then the season opener, non-conference, at North Park, Illinois. And, you know, you look at what your record is, assuming they're going to hang on and win this one today. Take 2 out of the loss column and put 2 on the win column. And all of a sudden, we did have a pretty solid season. And the way that they came home here and going to finish up with 2 back-to-back wins is a great way to finish your season. We're going to have to see how Lake Forest is going to represent the Midwest Conference in tournament play. Yeah, there's some good teams. Ripon, University of Chicago, Monmouth, Lake Forest, of course.
1st and 10, Red Hawks.
Illinois College. I don't want to leave them out of the mix.
No.
We're going to see that good men's team.
Getzinger goes around. He's got room to run.
Go.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Hawks. Xavier Getzinger on senior day.
The last game he's ever going to play.
Jump around again, and the Red Hawks have broken 40.
And how enjoyable to see a player like that come away with 6.
2 players you don't usually see score touchdowns have scored touchdowns today, and Mackenzie Shep on to kick the extra point.
Oh.
Kick is up, and she knocked it through. Way to go, 3-9.
And by the way, a high snap.
High snap as well.
Yeah, good job by the holder.
So the rushing touchdown from Getzinger followed by the extra point from Shep.
I talked to Shep when I went down, was waiting for the interview with Coach Coles, and she was there. I said, hey, how far can you kick a field goal anyway? I was watching you at halftime last week. It looked like about 35 yards. She kind of went, yeah. Very cool. I've never seen that before.
So a great moment for Red Hawk football there is Mackenzie Shep.
There's history.
With the point.
That's history.
Her first point of the season.
You talk about exclamation. with that run. You talk about a north-south runner on that touchdown.
No, I'm not aware if she scored any points last year.
I have no idea. With the kicker that they had, who's going to probably be inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? That kicker for 4 years, that was just amazing.
If she didn't score a point last year, I believe that's the first point scored by a woman in Ripon college football history. I don't think I'd feel unconfident in saying that.
No, I already assumed that. But it's like, wow.
So,
yeah.
In the 131st adaptation of this classic, even more history is still being made. You would think you'd see everything in 131 years.
Well, the idea that Ripon spectators would tackle a Lawrence running back.
Well, that's not too unbelievable back in the day when they didn't have bleachers.
Twice.
Hey, they're called fanatics for a reason.
I use the term, those running backs for Lawrence, they were Woody hazed. And, yeah. And the idea that it was the opinion of the editorial writer for the Lawrence newspaper that it was getting so out of hand after its third season.
Oh, Williams almost with a pick. Amir Williams nearly
8 minutes
picked it
left.
off. And if Amir Williams would have had that one in his hands, it was bye-bye birdie into the end zone. And you can see down on the sideline some of the seniors getting a little emotional, hugging their coaches for what might be for what will be their final football games of their lives.
Lights are coming on. If I'm Lawrence, I want to get rid of this shutout.
Not getting rid of it,
I want to get points. I want to do something to get points. Now you're looking at any type of a moral victory, if you will, would be to ruin the shutout of the Redhawks. But they haven't shown the ability to do that this afternoon. The defense for Ripon is played
3rd and 8.
Very stellar.
3rd and 8. I saw Cale Barnhart warming up down on the sidelines for the Redhawks.
Nice.
Caught on the sidelines by Asher Lynn for the first down.
There's an old Western, that one of the longest running programs in history of television. Matt Dillon was the sheriff of the series. There was a quarterback at Cornell College, a very good quarterback. He's in the Hall of Fame. Matt Dillon is his name. And I just saw the way he flung that ball for Lawrence, and I thought of that kid because he threw the ball the same way. Here we go.
Man in motion. Williams is going to go down the field, and Amir Williams is going to break that pass up.
Yeah, it's a smart pass. You know, it was low and away, right? If anybody's going to get it, it'll be my guy. I think he's learned that lesson when he floats it or when it's up high. And by the way, I think the coverages today by the secondary for Ripon have just been outstanding.
2nd and 10.
Well, you know, we're talking about that front seven all the time, but let me tell you.
Handoff. Scooting around the outside, and he's going to be brought down before the 50. Clay Richard, the senior, again with another tackle, adding on to his Midwest Conference leading total.
3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 on the 47-yard line.
It's 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I was looking where they had it, and then they moved it back a yard, so I don't get it sometimes.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Williams with the pass. It's going to be caught, but he's going to be forced out before the first down marker.
It would appear so, about a yard, give or take.
They're going to mark it at the 49, so it'll be 4th and 1. 4th down stand here would be a heck of an exclamation point on this game for this Red Hawk defense.
I'm looking for a quarterback keeper.
Nope, it's going to be a first down, though.
Yeah. Give it to the human bowling ball there, number 34 for Lawrence.
Tackled by Clay Richard.
Some of the players for Lawrence today, we don't even have them on our sheet.
No, and I'm looking to see if.
And gives the Vikings a first down.
A lot of times jerseys get switched. Last week, the quarterback he had a different number. Well, is Ripon going to preserve the shutout with 5.5 minutes remaining, or is Lawrence finally going to get on the board?
Williams is going to throw it deep. Ooh, almost picked off by Amir Williams.
The communication there just was a little off. He's throwing that out pattern, and I don't know how much time the intended receiver thinks his QB has to make his mind up.
Second down, 10.
Another handoff to number 34, and he's going to be hit hard at the 40.
Thompson on the carry. Clay Richard on the tackle.
A hard hit from Clay Rashad again.
Yeah, that was.
Third down
Go,
and 5.
right? You go to the man or you go through the man on the tackle. And we saw what Richard's all about there.
Back to pass is Williams. Going over the middle. Oh, he had interception number 3 in his hands.
Boy, did he fling that. That was rising fastball. And it's like the receiver almost wasn't, ate him up. Like he wasn't even looking for it.
4th and 5 now. They do have the win with them if they want to try and break the shutout the easy way with a field goal.
No, it's too far. That would be way too much, even with the wind. That'd be about
a
56.
50-yarder.
About 56, yeah.
High snap. Williams
Over the middle.
back.
He's got his man
He's
right
going
there.
to run it.
He got it.
He's got the first down.
Let's see where they spot it. Yep. Just got it by about a yard. He knew where he was.
There were people calling for a flag in the backfield.
I thought for sure he was going to throw to his man on the drag pattern over the middle.
I think he's a little scared to throw it right now. He's got 2 interceptions on the day, and he just missed a third over on the previous play.
Now, the important thing is they're moving the chains. New set of downs, 4:20 and counting remaining in the game. Ripon's going to put this one away, 41-0. It's just a matter whether it's going to be a shutout or not.
Williams to throw again. Towards the corner, way overthrown.
Yeah. Smart play, actually.
He's
now
going
we got
towards
another
Lippert.
flag. So let's see what they're going to call here. If it's going to be a classic hold or... I didn't see any pressure on the quarterback, so I don't think there was a late hit involved. Let's see.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 70.
So you have an offensive lineman for LU grabbing a Ripon player's face mask. I talked about earlier today about some of those individual battles. Well, there's some frustration coming out, it would appear.
Ball moved back to the Ripon 47-yard line.
So as if yards didn't come tough enough. Now it's 1st and 25.
Throw over the middle.
Oh, did he
hit
get
hard as he caught it?
Yeah.
On any normal play, that's a first down, but after the penalty, it's not even it's just a good dent.
Wow. Good pop.
The Redhawks definitely want to pitch a shutout here. That would be an emphatic way to end the year.
Without question. I mean, if I'm down there, you definitely want a shutout. Definitely a defense. You take so much pride in that. Got him.
He's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well,
Brady Picard with the sack.
Well, it's interesting because Picard, he got sidestepped. Picard blew by him. Quarterback stepped up. Picard put the brakes on, dropped the parachute, turned around, and still got him with some second effort. Nice job by the interior tackle for the Redhawks.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
Look out. Screen.
They're going to bring him down short of the first.
Good call. Pretty good execution. That's the kind of play you kind of wishing, and you're watching on the sidelines over on Lawrence. You're going, man, cut to the outside. You're cutting back into the defensive pursuit. Brings up 4th and short, or 4th and moderate, I should say.
4th and 4.
Makes it 4th and 4.
Are they going to keep moving the chains, or is Ripon going to take over on downs? We're about to find out as we get a timeout called.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Timeout, 2-minute warning.
And that gives us an opportunity
Yeah.
to announce the paid attendance. We'll begin by saying the dog attendance today is 2.
Len Crosby calling out the dog owners out on the hill.
Dog attendance.
Senior Day record, 4,716.
4,716 paid attendees here at Hopp Stadium today.
Well, he, just so you know, he makes these numbers up for the last 25 years.
Oh.
So this is his tradition. Sometimes he might say, it could be 78,000 people here today.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were 4,000 people here today.
You know what? I can tell you that the bleachers accommodate a little over 2,000.
Bleachers are full.
So you're halfway there. That's a good crowd.
And then you talk about out in the parking lot.
And Lawrence has a good crowd. If you look down to the south end of the bleachers, a lot of blue.
Showing blitz on the left side. Around the corner. Oh, knocked down.
That'll do it. Take over on downs.
Salim Sesma knocks it down.
And it would appear Ripon is going to get their shutout.
And Ripon throws their shutout.
You know what that's all about in baseball.
I do.
Now you're seeing it in football here today against their
and hugs all
rival.
around
Yeah.
for the defensive players making their final appearances. Clay Richard, the last play on defense he'll ever take as a football player.
Yeah.
And the emotion pouring out of him right now. And Rick Coles looks like a proud father watching the way his offensive lines played today.
Yeah.
What a parting gift. Cale Barnhart in to hand it off to Timmons now, and Timmons is going to get a few on the short carry.
Tackle made by Colby Gelvin.
I'm going to go home and grab my wife, and we're going to head downtown and have some celebratory libations, I think.
You're not allowed to say the other stuff on air?
No. You just use a fancy word instead.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Here we go. Did they just going to take a victory knee here, or how do they do this? Nope.
Barnhart with another handoff to Treston Decker. Still on his feet. Gains a few.
Bouncing off. Keeps your feet.
Tackle made by John Pasquarello.
Coming up on the minute mark.
Congratulations to Jacob Marshall, head coach, in his second season as the head coach and his coaching staff. Some of those assistants have been there for a long time.
None longer than Rick Coles, though. 26 years at Ripon College. He's overseen the tradition longer than anyone on that sideline.
I'm not sure. I got to look up Coach Leak. It works the defensive backs.
Barnhart to pass. Caught over on the left sideline.
Look at
that. First down. And that is the dagger. If it wasn't already.
Yeah.
Well, Martin, it's been fun. I'm going to see you calling games on the hardwood all winter.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to call a game on the gridiron with you a few times.
It has been. And your enthusiasm is much appreciated for us old people.
Of course.
Best of luck to you this spring.
Thank you. Still got a long ways to go, though. Quick handoff. Swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. I don't think he thought he was down.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the ball game, folks. The handshakes are going to start. The Ripon Redhawks win their 23rd consecutive game.
They stopped the clock. They threw a flag. The running back was so exuberant and so excited. Hey, he's going, hey, I was never down. And he goes back. The ref didn't like him saying that. They're going to pick the flag up. Let's see what they're going to do.
If they throw a flag this late in the game.
They did. They threw it, and they're going to march off 15. Are you kidding me?
What are we doing?
Play is over. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 40 of Ripon. His first of the game. 15-yard penalty.
There's 15 seconds left in a 41-0 football game, dude.
9 seconds, actually, yeah. And that'll do it.
And Hopp Stadium can jump around for real this time. The 23rd consecutive victory by the Redhawks over the Lawrence University Vikings in the 131st year of this rivalry.
My goodness.
For Creech Slattery, Martin Ernster, Ripon Channel, Redhawks 41, Vikings 0. We'll see you next season at the Hop.